Amin, would you rather go to Alcatraz or Mickey Jail?
I don't know what Mickey Jail is.
Mickey Jail's like Disney World jail.
Oh, Alcatraz for sure.
Me too.
Why?
Me
Not
too.
active.
Alcatraz for sure. Why big to Alcatraz or to Mickey Jail? Alcatraz.
You've been to Mickey Jail.
I feel like Alcatraz is, first of all, it's cool.
It's freezing.
I did some time at the Rock, you know, like that's here's the thing about Mickey Jail.
I'm with you already.
It's probably awful, but no one will ever believe you because it's Disneyland. Like, come on, how hard can it be? But I think that they're putting you to work down there in like slave labor camps. Yeah.
Okay, that went.
Prison labor? Is that the word I was looking for? Sorry.
So in Disney World, everything's underground.
Yes.
Like they built everything up like 2 or 3 stories above the ground. So you have all the tunnels because when they made Disneyland, like Walt Disney got pissed off because he saw like people that were dressed like cowboys walking through like Tomorrowland that's like space themed or whatever. So they built all these tunnels where Walt Disney's head may or may not be.
No, his
it's
whole
down
body,
there.
no?
No,
Was
just
it his
the
whole
head.
body?
Just the head.
Really?
Yeah.
So
How
they
does that-
cryogenically froze just his head.
Yeah, because the
I
rest of the
think so.
body's irrelevant.
But how does that work? So like, do they then reattach that head to like a robot body?
Have you ever watched Futurama?
No,
Okay.
but I know of it.
Yeah, they put the heads in like.
But it could just go on
jars of water.
anything.
In
the future.
on a robot body, probably, right?
Yeah,
put
but
it-
you could make it like it could be like a spider robot. or
Yeah,
whatever. It could be any
yeah.
kind of robot.
They've done that before in the
Our
movie.
obsession with death makes us do crazy shit.
I mean,
Our obsession?
yeah,
Yeah.
Human
The
beings.
collective society's obsession with death, that we don't want to die. That like Walt Disney just decided, I'm going to freeze my head.
Right.
Because maybe in 300 years' time, there'll be a technology where I can be reborn and live forever because my head has been preserved.
I like the idea of Walt Disney being reanimated 300 years from now, and he's like, because he died as like this visionary guy that's a great thinker, whatever. And in 300 years, he goes, "What if we invented phones without cords?" And you're like, Walt, like, come on, man.
But Billy, you're saying 300 years. That's the first thing I was thinking about right now, which is right now. They bring him out right now. And you tell him like, by the way, this thing right here does everything for you. Like what do you mean? Like,
And also, we would be so skeptical of him. Think of like how skeptical we are now of Musk. And like Musk just wants to get us from Miami to Orlando in an hour underground, and we're like, what a kook.
No. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. That Musk is full of shit.
What?
Right? Like that's the difference. Like didn't he come out and say like one of those
Those hyper tunnels that he claimed just because he was trying to break some project up.
full of shit. He was just doing it to cockblock something else. That's all. That's the only reason why he came up with it, why he said it. Like he had it was just complete fraudulence, right? Like Walt Disney, for being a very strange man, by the way. Like we don't talk about that enough. Like this dude was certified weirdo, right?
There's a lot of shit from old Disney that is very problematic.
Problematic. He's a problem. But
to it.
he like at least the stuff that he was trying to do, he got done. Some of it, right? Same thing with Steve Jobs. Awful human being by all accounts, right? Awful human being. Awful parent, awful boss, awful everything. But visionary, made a lot of shit happen.
Who do you think's the best visionary?
The best?
Yeah, because
good
like
question.
we touched on it with Sure a little bit, right?
Did we?
Well, we touched on the billionaire situation and how like you have to step on a lot of people's
yeah.
necks to become like a billionaire.
Yeah.
So like, who do you think is the best visionary that's like most pure?
Well adjusted? Or
Oh, no.
Oh, like doesn't have evil intent.
Like not a shit person.
Oh, not a shit person.
Well, and also be careful because like they all have great means. So like if
Well,
this gets any of them.
Gates?
Man. Have you ever heard the story of like the start of Microsoft? There was a really, really good made-for-TV movie on TNT like years ago. It was called Pirates of Silicon Valley. And it's about like how Gates and Steve Jobs and Paul Allen and all these guys like got their start. And Bill Gates was ruthless as hell, man. I mean, he was cutthroat as can be. And just wilding on people. Crazy, right? It's funny. He was like...
So I call him Wild Bill.
Yeah, there you go. He was like the visionary, of course, but also unhinged. And Paul Allen was the cool one. And Steve Ballmer was like the fun guy. Like the way you see Steve Ballmer right now, it's exactly who he is. He's always been the same kind of guy. Maybe Steve Ballmer is the answer to that. I don't know if he's a visionary, right? He's a hell of a salesman, though.
Isn't there a famous clip of Steve Ballmer saying the iPhone is wildly overpriced and will never catch on?
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Like,
He's half right.
the Zune, Roy was like, and?
I still have my Zune.
The Zune was, I believe, a Steve Ballmer.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, like he championed that thing. And you know what the funny thing about the Zune was? The Zune versus the iPod? The Zune had like an AM FM radio on it as well. And they thought, oh, this gives us a leg up on the iPod because it's more functionality. And in reality, it just made them look old and dated because they were reaching back to or not an obsolete, but something that was on the way to obsolescence. And Apple's thing is always move forward. We're going to get rid of the headphone jack on the phone. We're going to make it into the small, like Apple's thing is always like trying to push you. It actually pushes you towards stuff that you wouldn't be ready for if they gave you the option.
Yeah, I remember when they first did away with the button. It was like, but like I like putting my thumb on there and then I get through to the next screen. I like the button. Why did you have to I like the double tap, close all my apps, but you adjust to all the new shit that they make you adjust to so quickly. Right.
They make you.
In the interest of sleekness.
No, no. It's in the interest of them saving money. Like, there's no reason why they can't give me the little square that I can plug my iPhone charger into. Now I have to go out and buy one. That's not because they're trying to push me to be better.
No.
They want to sell me the little square that before was free.
I do think that the courts just ruled that there needs to be a universal adapter for all cell phone
charging.
But then we got some new computers around here, and I love the USB-C to USB-C connection. And now they brought back the MagSafe thing, which used to, the MacBook.
No.
This is a new Apple, and they have the MagSafe thing.
No, get out of here.
It's USB-C to the MagSafe thing.
No.
And I actually shouted, "Those thieves!"
What's a MagSafe?
It's like
it's the magnetized.
It's the magnetized, like the little tiny rectangle that goes on the corner.
No, that's whack.
How about give me my DVD player back on a computer?
Well, I mean, I want to go back to why they got rid of the button. You guys know why they got rid of the button, right?
No.
Because they were trying to emphasize people using Face ID. And as long as the button was there, people were like, I don't need to do that. So when they, get rid of the button, I mean, sure, you can still input your code manually, but the Face ID convenience becomes so much more important. And because of that, they can now collect facial recognition data. But don't worry about it. They said they're not going to do anything evil with it. So let's just take their word for it. Their security is really good.
Their
Before
amazing.
they used to do the fingerprint also.
Yeah. Yep. But, they get more out of facial recognition software than they do from a thumbprint. Because you got to think about how many times does your fingerprint factor in on like big data, right? Like large amounts of data about things that you do, places you go, whatever. Almost never. But your face, that one, like it's everywhere, right? I told this story before. There's a guy who was like trolling a little bit Jim Dolan on Facebook about his band, like on his band's page, right? Like JD in the Straight Shot. Right? And he'd go there and be like, it's good to see you. You got time for this, but you don't have time for the Knicks. Or, something just very light trolling, right? Persistent, but nothing crossing a line. Goes to a Ranger game. Security approaches him at the seat. Take him down to Mickey jail. And they're like, interrogate him, and it's like, you've been flagged for harassment online. And he's like, what? And it turns out Madison Square Garden has the Hong Kong style facial recognition cameras. Like, as soon as you walk in the building, they're running your face against a database of like ne'er-do-wells or whatever, and they're comparing and all that. Now, imagine, Billy, if it was just thumbprints.
And they're using that just to see who's cyberbullying James Dolan.
Exactly. I mean, it's still Madison Square Garden. Like,
I heard a wild story regarding facial recognition that was emailed to me. I'm going to keep the names out of it to protect the innocent, but there was a charity event not too long ago that was based out of a casino. One of the players that was playing in this charity event found a $5,000 poker chip in the elevator. And because he was having such a great time, he decided to gift that $5,000 chip over to the company that was running the entire thing.
Got it.
So he handed it to the wife of the CEO. And the wife of the CEO goes to cash the chip.
Yep.
Problem. They come back and say, according to our cameras, you haven't been playing poker. How do you have this poker chip?
Right.
And there have been all these reported missing chips out there. And so that wife had to sit down there during an interrogation as they vetted the story on how she got the $5,000 chip. So wash your chips at the poker table, guys, if you ever find a $5,000 poker chip. And don't do the good Samaritan thing, which is just return it.
Let me ask you a question. Let's say that happened to you. Where'd you get this chip? Do you say, so-and-so gave it to me? Or do you say, it was gifted to me? Like, do you reveal basically who gave it to you?
No, they brought in the person that gifted it. Like, they had to check out their entire story.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking you, Mike Ryan. You've just been pulled into the room. Someone handed you this chip, and you're like, oh, this is awesome. Whatever, let me go cash it in. They said, where'd you get this chip from?
You just smack the tables and go, I'm gambling again?
Yeah. Well, according to our videos, you don't do any winning. Yeah. So how'd you come? Like I'd start singing like a canary very quickly.
Really?
But I didn't know that it was that thorough. Like if someone just shows up, a $5,000 chip isn't that much in the scope of what goes through those cashier windows. For them to actually back it up and check the facial recognition software to be like, this person's never sat at a poker table. This doesn't check out. And it to happen instantaneously like that, it gives you something to think about. By the way, the Apple charger thing was a European Union. The courts ruled that there needs to be a universal charging port for all cell phones. The EU is way ahead on all this stuff.
Europe can fuck off with telling us about universal charging things, okay? I'm sorry.
No, you're playing both sides. Yeah. They're doing this for you.
No, they're not. No, because when I go to Europe, I need a different charger as well. Get me the 3 little plug thing that we have here, and I'll be perfectly happy. Thank you very much.
The different electrical outlets by country, I'm completely with you, Billy. I don't understand why that's a thing.
Just dick measuring.
Why couldn't we agree on an outlet? Why couldn't we agree on an outlet?
Yeah, and if you plug in a hair dryer, it explodes. It's so
weird.
Oh,
yeah. Remember when we were going to record an interview and my mixer exploded because the power brick? Yeah, we were going to record an interview at Chelsea, and I brought a mixer with me.
It was
and
a Pulisic interview. Yeah, it was the biggest interview to
we were going to interview Christian Pulisic, and my mixer exploded because of the power conversion. And like the room
wasn't dual voltage?
Yeah, the room started filling with smoke. And I had to clear the smoke, and thankfully I had a backup improvised solution. But yeah, Mike and I shared a microphone for that interview.
We shared a proper shit in that moment, but we figured it out.
Yeah.
This is sour grapes because of the Revolutionary War, right? Like it has to be. It has to be like we will not conform and do what it is that they're doing over there. We will show them that we're better. And they will come back. They will come begging back to us to be part of Great Britain again because our outlets are superior to those that they have in America.
It's covered in Hamilton.
The outlets?
Kept telling us we'll be back. Cut 2. I mean, we were all considering it over the last few years, were we not?
No, not there.
I mean, they have have peri sauce too.
Yeah. By the way, like I just want to throw out there for those of you who don't know, like England has its own. Like, look, the racism this country has, they learned it from somewhere. They learned it from watching you, Dad. Like, let's be real. Like, they've got their own wild ass. Neo conservatives over there.
Oh yeah, and it's a lot slower to trickle in than it has been over here. Like in part, our growing pains over the last few years have been so dramatic and played out in our streets because I think it's also happening at a more rapid pace over here. So now the people that are on the wrong side of history are fighting like hell because it's like being, as they see it, ripped away from them in record time, whereas the power dynamics in Europe allow for a slower burn as they inch towards progress.
They actually have multiple political parties there. Happy Election Day, everybody.
Yeah. You guys vote?
I did.
Yep.
Nice.
I did. During Because Miami episode, I had Billy Corbin kind of influence my ballot, and it was revealed to everybody that I'm still registered Republican.
Yeah.
But I have a whole plan about that, though.
So I have
Yeah.
Roy, listen to this.
I'm going to fight him from the inside.
I had a buddy. He doesn't do this anymore, but he was working in the state of Arizona, like in politics on the Republican side, right? And this dude, if you knew him, raging, like he's like a heartbeat away from being a communist. Like he is super duper socialist. But everyone assumed, because he's a tall white guy, that he's down for the cause. So he just kept, like pretending. So then he started like suggesting policy that like any normal rational person would look at as like, wow, that's a very social policy. But he would frame it as like, this will get the liberals upset. This stuff is, they
Is
want.
your friend Ron DeSantis?
No, but like, it's funny.
No, he's tall.
So he kept doing this and he kept like progressing. And I said to him, buddy, like in a couple of years, you're going to be like the Manchurian candidate. You can like run for like Congress or maybe even Senate, and everyone will just be like, yeah, he's our guy, he sticks up for us. And meanwhile, he's just eroding the foundations of the Republican Party from the inside. And do you know what happened? It's the silliest thing ever.
Heart attack.
No, not quite as silly as that, Billy.
That's too silly.
No, it's too silly. The Democrats won, and so technically his position was a nonpartisan position, so he kept his job, and so they won, and he's like, oh, thank God you guys are here, like, I've been pretending this whole time, da-da-da, and he got fired. I said, you gave it away, you could have kept going, you could have kept running with this forever, and instead, no, and now he's out of politics, but he's a lot happier, so Mike, it could be you.
Don't give away the game.
Yeah.
That is the game. I
So-
feel like there's
so-
a party within a party right now.
So you're like, you want to vote in Republican primaries to see like maybe you can like, I'm not sure
Yeah, it does give me
the Florida Republican primary that is going to result in your favor. Like I'm not sure.
No.
Like when does that go in? Even like, a state primary for president. First off, by the time they get to Florida, it's kind of already baked in, which it's kind of stupid, right? It's kind of stupid.
Our whole election process.
Right, exactly. A brief political comment.
No.
It is really stupid. Like, first off, how many states don't matter in national presidential elections? They just straight up don't matter. It's like the election is decided in 7 states and the rest of you are just kind of having a nice time.
Yeah.
And then, like, in the primary process, if you don't go early, then your vote doesn't matter at all. Why? That's stupid.
So I saw this in Alaska. In Alaska, they're doing how they do it in Australia, which is you don't just pick. It's like an MVP vote. You give your second, third, fourth, and fifth choice.
Ranked choice voting. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it happened in South America quite recently, and it resulted in a communist president because everyone was splitting votes, and then the one that was an outlier compared to everybody else, the communist,
Right.
just rose up because everybody was eating at the same trough of votes.
Wow. Dan, I didn't know you were here.
Eating at the trough.
Yeah.
You're a writer.
I want to say this, and I don't want anyone to get upset. We need to normalize the idea that if you're gonna have a democratic election and your choice doesn't end up winning, tough shit. As long as they don't subvert democracy afterward.
Yeah. It didn't seem like too long ago where that was the case here.
No, I mean,
We'd all laugh at the same SNL jokes and just keep moving on.
Right.
It wasn't all kumbaya. I mean, you would still have awkward family dinners, but it wasn't this.
Sure, like-
in
Where it's just like, you lost. No, I didn't.
But it's I'm gonna give you because this happens a lot in the Middle East, right? Where there's a dictator and then they overthrow the dictator and now we have an election and I did an election and then it's like, oh, like the Muslim Brotherhood won the election. Like tough shit. Like that's what you wanted for the region, right? You wanted democracy. You want people to pick. They're not always gonna pick your guy. But yeah, it's funny that we're in that situation now where it's like now we're the ones who are like, we don't like that guy.
Billy,
we still have superior outlets, though.
We do. Electric
Yeah,
outlets.
power outlets.
Billy, you were telling us before the show you were swayed politically by a great campaign here in South Florida.
Oh, yeah. I was driving by the library on Coral Way over the weekend.
Coral.
Yeah. And they had, I don't know what this person is running for, but the candidate had like 50 people supporting her. And she had like these big, like almost like car wash things with her face on them, right? Like these giant flags with her face on it and then like name and then like number on the pole. And they were just blasting music. And there was like a party of like 80 people dancing. And I was like,
What was the song?
I don't remember
Was
what
it like
it was.
Born in the USA?
No.
Oh, please, no.
You do not understand
It's the
Westchester.
library on Coral Way.
Yeah, no, the library on Coral Way is in the heart of Westchester. This was like reggaeton was like blasting or something like bachata, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm voting for this person. I don't know what it is. I'm voting for this person.
Do you remember their name?
No, I have no idea.
Oh,
but
God.
when I
How
go
are you gonna vote for them then?
Very dangerous game.
When I go to vote the same, I mean, it's a local like primary. What?
See, that's how it starts.
That's how it starts.
Okay.
That's why I consulted Billy Corbin. I'm like,
Well, I'm not going to be doing that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's too bad.
Yo, does that stuff work though? Not what Billy just said, but like those placards that are on the side of the road. That's just like vote so and so.
yeah, there's this candidate that only advertises at gas stations.
Yeah.
Yeah, only advertises.
I'll
at
drop the
and
gas.
and he's in full uniform and Bloomstein, I think. Yeah. Just why gas stations? His entire marketing campaign is just, hey, I'm here at the gas stations. Gas station's expensive, right? Well, vote for me. It won't be as expensive. And he's just a judge.
Wait, what's
Like,
he running for?
Nothing
Like,
can be
judge.
done about that.
Nothing can be done,
Gazar,
but it's all about visibility and just like
Name ID.
no one longs for change more recently than when they're at the gas pump. So if they see someone that represents change in full uniform,
but isn't that
subliminally, I thought it was a brilliant marketing stroke.
So, Amin, you live in Arizona.
I do.
Right? Are you familiar with Dixon Butts?
No, I have to answer this question very carefully.
DIXONBUTTS.
Oh.
Dixon Butts.
Oh, wait, Denzel GIF. No, I'm not.
So Dixon Butts is this guy in Gilbert, Arizona that has just put up a bunch of signs. Go to DixonButts.com, DIXONBUTTS.com.
I'm on it.
Make sure you spell it correctly.
And he's this guy, and it just is a bunch of political signs that he's put up all around Arizona, and it just says not running for anything, just wanted to make a sign. DixonButts.com.
He's going to be a write-in candidate, probably.
He for sure is going to be getting votes.
This guy's from Gilbert, Arizona. I know where Gilbert is.
Yeah, his campaign slogan for a campaign that's not an actual campaign is America needs Dixon Butts.
Is it Dixon or
and
Dixon?
the slogan is exactly what Billy suggested. America needs Dixon Butts, not run for anything, just wanted to make a sign. Crazy. It's also the same web designer that did our buddy Onion, Connor Onion.
Yo, did you guys see that? Connor Onion engaged with us on Twitter.
I mean, I would hope so.
No, it was
It's a very big show.
No, but it was well, there's a couple of things going on. Number one, he could have very easily have taken offense to Mike calling him insecure and all that stuff. Instead, like, he went with the joke. He loved it. He was like, I'm leaning towards Onion, you know, and so I really like that he didn't take himself seriously. He went along with the joke. But then the other thing I realized was, even though this guy is doing sideline for ESPN and like his career is going great, it's like I saw like all of these program directors of radio stations and other stuff that I guess have a prior existing relationship with them. And they were like, oh man, you made it to the big time. I'm like, that's right. We're the big time. You get called out on this show, ladies and gentlemen. That means you're somebody. You get a shout.
With high-level production.
Yes, you get a shout out on the LeBatard Show. And guess what? Your life changes.
I have
it broke.
I have
there it
a
is.
transition.
Okay.
I realized this morning that I am not at all ready for the football season. I haven't yet begun preparation for my
Get
fantasy
ready.
draft.
Watch Hard Knocks. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I heard your conversation about it yesterday. I might have to binge the first two, but I realized that preseason is such a bastardization of football now that it does not allow me to really ramp up to the season. I don't have any clue of what most teams are going to be doing. For instance, like the Dolphins are going to be running a new offense. And I know that they ran some of it against the Raiders on Saturday, but I don't actually feel like I have a grasp as to what the Dolphins are ramping up to. Like I read about how Mike Gesicki is transitioning. Basically, he even said it himself, from being a receiver to being a tight end, and that could be a real drastic change for him. But like, is this atypical to most NFL preseasons where I just feel like most people are analyzing off of last year's evidence and we don't actually have new information on football?
I have a quick question. Can you walk us through your day off if it entails listening to 5 hours of us? Because it feels like that's not really a day off.
I was on a plane, so it was a long travel day, walking through terminals, all that. Got to know what's going on the show when I come back. I feel bad if like I come really, we were talking about this yesterday. We were talking about this yesterday.
You'll
no,
get over that.
I'm in on the joke. I know what's going on.
I don't even know who Connor Onion is, and I was here yesterday.
I mean, Billy, I pay attention. I like to know what's going on. I also like you guys.
Oh, that's not Connor Onion is the one who's going to do a broadcast with Jessica's uncle Art Sour Cream.
I don't get that either.
No?
That was Fred.
It was Fred?
That was Fred Sour Cream. Yeah.
Oh, his brother is.
Wasn't there a
in
Jimmy
business.
Hot Dogs a couple weeks ago?
Jimmy Hot Dogs.
But Billy, to answer your question, I was also watching a bit of Blackbird as well. I'm almost done with Blackbird.
Is that the thing about SeaWorld?
No, that's
That's Blackfish.
Fish.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Blackfish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
not the ocean.
Is that the one? I thought that was the one with Anthony Anderson.
Also,
No, that's
Blackish.
I also marvel at how much time Witty has to do all this stuff, and then I realize, he's a single man.
Natalie Portman.
He doesn't have a
Natalie
kid,
Portman.
doesn't have a wife.
Black Swan. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
What was your actual question about the
it's-
NFL?
How
that
are
was
you
a
getting
question?
ready for the football season? I have no
don't.
idea what's
Oh,
going. Like,
oh,
I'm a Dolphins fan, and I have no idea what they're going to look like
The
week one.
Gesicki thing, I think, is very interesting because people are breaking down the snap counts in the preseason, which is, how can you glean anything from snap counts in the preseason?
Well, preseason is a really good indicator of how people plan to use certain people, right? Like there's people like Traylon
No, it
Burks.
isn't.
Yes, it is.
Tyreek
No,
Hill hasn't
absolutely.
played a
No.
snap, has he?
No.
That's fine, but you're
wanna
talking about
hide
the
the
highest
stuff.
paid. You're talking about the highest paid wide receiver
Conventionally
in
speaking,
the league.
you are right, but not in today's NFL. Something happened 3 years
The
ago
first-
where you're not showing any cards. You're not showing any personnel, really.
The first two series of the game are the only ones that matter in terms of like what the teams
Not
will look like.
even-
Everything
Not
else
even that, but Mike's
Not
right.
even.
But think about if it's 4th and short and you want to go for it.
Oh,
You're not going to show a play that you want to use in the right. You're going to
Yeah.
show a play. You're just going to run it up the middle.
No, it's not even. I don't want to go through the 4th and short because there's bodies colliding. I just want to stay healthy to get to the season. So you're not playing these guys at all. But the Gesicki stuff is interesting because he has been playing some, and he's actually been a backup if you look at the snap counts. And the whole thing, we wanted to press Mike McDaniel on this a little bit more. I wanted to ask him a pointed and direct question: is Gesicki is a wide receiver? He argued he's a wide receiver. He cannot block. You have to block in that offense. Look at George Kittle. He is one of the best blockers at the position in modern times. Mike McDaniel is going to want to replicate that. Do you have the personnel to do that here in Miami? Not with your starting air quotes tight end. I actually was kicking around over the weekend. Miami would be wise, especially considering the fines that were levied for the tampering stuff and the capital they gave up for Tyreek Hill. Might be worth seeing what you can get for Gesicki.
Which would feel really harsh because he's been a Pro Bowl level player. He's been a draft pick that has worked. He's currently on a franchise tag. I wonder, like, that's probably not great trade value. You're on a 1-year franchise
But
tag.
if you could flip them for someone that fits the system,
that's rare. Like player for player trades in the NFL, like you just go to another team. Hell, can I take a tight end that's more kind of block
heavy tight end.
I was just saying replenish the capital
block.
because they have Smythe, who's been playing well, who can get
But
after
Durant
it
Smythe is going to
more.
be your starting tight end because he can block, right? Like that's where we are.
Right.
You look at the history of the Shanahan offense, and the tight ends had put up massive numbers just because they were out there. It's kind of sneaky. Everyone looks at the running backs, and it's like everyone goes to Orlandis Gary and Mike Anderson,
Ruben
and so on,
Drones.
Alfred Morris, and so
Ruben
on and
Drones, good call.
so forth. But if you look at the tight ends that have had success in that offense too, guys that were top 10 in fantasy points by the names of Owen Daniels, that you would stream all the time. Tight ends have success in that by the nature of their position on the field.
I feel like you're more confident in the Dolphins' schematic advantage over the rest of the league than even I am. Like, I'm not buying on it in quite this way. I know that like McDaniel is well
He
thought
felt
of.
his aura in person.
No. He like Mike is
it's
just
a Kyle Shanahan
you're just a
thing.
big Shanahan guy.
Yeah, it's
The
a Mike
system
Shanahan
works.
thing.
The
It's a
system
Mike
works.
Shanahan, Gary Kubiak thing. It's moving the pocket. It's rolling out. The system has worked for 30 years in the NFL, and no one's really caught on to it. It's still working. Jimmy Garoppolo almost made it to a Super Bowl. He should have. They dropped an interception. He should have made it to the Super Bowl. I think it's a cheat code in the NFL. I think it's a schematic advantage, and I think it's shown, especially with Kyle and Mike McDaniel, that it can go from place to place. Places that weren't great jobs because they got there to them. They were open for a reason, and they got immediate results with the personnel that they had. Doesn't matter. They come in, they instill their ways, they find the personnel that fits it. They don't really veer away from it either. The system is the system.
I think the interesting thing to note, though, is we talk about preseason snaps and like if it's an indicator for regular season, schematic advantages, is they have Gesicki who lined up out wide a disproportionate amount from any tight end in the NFL because they used him as a pseudo third wide receiver or second wide receiver when Devontae Parker and these guys were hurt. But the fact that he's playing in line now, being asked to block at such a higher rate in the preseason is telling me like that's what they want him to be. And you're going to have that and do what with him?
Yeah, and they're not a team that like is going to run a ton of 3 and 4 wide receiver. When they do, I imagine you can line them up out there. But they're like, correct me if I'm wrong, they're more of like a 2 tight ends kind of coaching staff, and they try and make players. The only thing that scares me about this is, I do trust Mike McDaniel for the moment, and obviously, like you said, his offense works. However, system turnover has resulted in the Dolphins losing great talents before. You think of, for example, Minka Fitzpatrick being traded, and they got a good haul for him, but I think that haul turned into like Austin Jackson's been a pretty bad offensive lineman for the Dolphins. Like they lost an all-pro caliber player because he didn't fit with Brian Flores' system, and to lose a good draft pick and a homegrown player in Mike Gesicki because he doesn't fit a system like that immediately sends off red flags for me.
I'd be stunned if we see Gesicki out wide the way that we saw him last year. The whole idea behind this offense is to get your players out in space. Have whoever's guarding the tight end come back to the line so you can have that player in space. We never saw George Kittle really line up wide. Yeah, they did a couple of gadget things and keep the defense honest. But anytime you've seen that offense really take a different shape, it's because the quarterback is a little bit more athletic and they can do a little bit more of the RPO stuff. Matt Ryan wasn't really going to convince you that he was going to be a running threat, but it can work with a passer. It's kind of like Chip Kelly's offense could work with a pure passer too. He would argue that it worked even better with a pure passer. It's just with Tua, it's going to be more pass reliant, and it's going to really accentuate the speed that you have on the outside. And I don't think you want Gesicki on the outside. You want the fast guys on the outside.
The team build is interesting to me too because it's almost like they built their team and then we're like, oh, Mike McDaniel, come and fix it, right? You have all these wide receivers getting money and then you have a franchise tag on a tight end that's kind of a wide receiver. And then you've got running backs everywhere that you paid. And now you have Sony Michel and you have Chase Edmonds, you have Raheem Mostert. It's like, what are these hodgepodge of players going to actually do? Because if you're saying you're running 12 personnel all the time, then why do you have Cedric Wilson? Why do you have all these guys to just kind of sit here and do nothing?
I love the dropping of 12 personnel. I almost said 22 personnel earlier, but I don't want to sound like a boob. I guess we had a conversation for 6 minutes about what the Dolphins are going to do, and preseason offers us very few answers. My question is the NFL now just a sport where you just show up to week 1 and are kind of pleasantly surprised by what goes on? Because I think even experts, like I listen to a lot of experts, and they're like, oh, I was watching this person's tape last year, and I'm like going back and watching games from the year before, and I just think it's a completely different context year over year. Like it's tough to apply things that happened last year to this year. It's almost like you kind of show up blind. You're like, all right, let's see how the Dolphins look this year. They're a completely new look team.
I'm learning nothing from watching the games. The only way that I'm learning in advance of fantasy drafts and just to get a general betting advantage is by reading beat writers that are at practice. And even then, they don't show the goods to the writers. They kick them off at a certain time, but they talk to the players, they talk to the coaches, and they find out which players are making an impact, which players are flashing. And that, you're getting way more from training camp than you could ever get from watching these exhibitions.
At some point, we're going to do away with preseason, right?
No.
Or does it just serve too vital a function to teams?
Yeah, like one, they use it to figure out who's going to make the 53-man roster. So players that we don't give a shit about, but they do, right?
It's such a dreadful entertainment product, though.
But two, it's kind of crazy. It's part of when they sell your season ticket package.
It's part of the package.
Part
yeah,
of the package.
It's bullshit.
I actually like it as like it's a build up to week 1. It's like, yeah, I'm watching this Dolphins game, not emotionally invested, get to see the uniforms out there. It's like you can talk to
see the
friends,
laundry on
you're
the
at a
field.
friend's house. Like I like on a game not really mattering. It's like once the game start week 1, I'm gonna be freaking out over every possession. So this is nice.
Are you freaking out on every possession?
A Dolphins game? I mean, I'm not maybe not freaking out.
Are you even watching every possession? Because like I'm mainly locked in a red zone.
Dolphins games, I keep on Dolphins
double
games.
screen. Yeah.
I mean, if it gets bad, if they're losing, I'll go to red zone.
You don't watch Red Zone just as a entertainment product, like to watch your team.
What's on TV one? What's on TV?
Yeah,
one?
you guys
I only have one TV.
You got, I was about to say.
Yeah, but
how
you
many
probably have
guys-
like an iPad.
What I do is I'll flip over to red zone when a commercial comes, and I will admit sometimes I will get lost in red zone. I'll be like, oh shit, I forgot. And I got to go back to the Dolphins game. But that's about the extent of it.
How many people in the room have a Mike Ryan, Jack Palance setup in their house, where it's like a bank of TVs?
I've only got the second. I have a second TV.
That-
By the way,
I got a
yes.
second too, yeah.
Yeah,
But you don't need
Not a
that
bank,
anymore.
I only have one TV.
What do you mean?
I'd say a branch.
You don't need to have multiple TVs. You
course
could
you
just
do.
no, you don't.
Like your
Well, if
You just have an
you care,
iPad,
you
a
need
laptop, a
multiple screens.
phone,
No,
and then
the iPad's too small. I need to see what's going on.
What do you mean it's too small?
It's too small.
I can. There's actually a spot.
No, it's in your head.
No, it's not in my head.
It's not
It's
too small.
100% in your head.
It's too
If you're
small.
holding an
Zombie.
iPad, if you're holding an iPad here, right, like close to your face.
Yeah, but why
like,
would I be watching it here, but also watching
whatever.
it up there?
You're
within
probably
reading
seeing
distance.
it better, to Billy's point.
100%.
Than like your TV
Because
that's
I need to have it a little bit of
You could
distance
have a
away.
55-inch TV that's
I do.
20
It's small.
feet away,
Right.
And your iPad's screen is larger because it's
But I have
closer
another
to
TV
you.
that's smaller that I can actually watch. It's a little bit closer. That's
Did this
not
with video
super
games.
close.
My friend
What
told
does
me to
that
get a
mean?
gaming monitor, and I hate it.
What's a gaming monitor?
Gaming monitor is a monitor that has this refresh rate that it doesn't even have speakers on the damn thing.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's so tiny. Can't see anything.
So what's the purpose?
The graphics look better. I don't give a shit. Like I play video games maybe twice a year during one of my daughter's naps. Like I need, I want to see what I'm playing. I can't do it with the small screens. Really can't.
What do you have like what like the school like elementary school like cart that you move a TV around on like
How'd you know?
well you
I
say
love
you
that.
have this little screen that's
I have like a
Oh,
30. I
standard
have like a
delivery.
32-inch screen.
where is that
20th
It's in my
century.
it's my studio.
but you move it
Yeah, I just unplug it from the wall and then I put it on top of the TV mount,
Wait,
and then I've
what?
got two of them.
Wait, you're serious?
Yeah.
I thought you were just going along with the bit.
you're moving TVs around
It's a 32-inch TV, guys. It's like this big. It's 32
Yeah,
inches. It's
but
not
what
that
and
big.
you
and
sit
and
it
you-
down like on a table around you
Okay, so picture
love
this.
it.
I've got a TV
do you have
mounted
a
on the
picture
wall.
yeah
Okay, then I've got a TV like desk, like to put stuff in, right? And then I put that other TV on top of that little desk. So I've got two within like a foot of each other. You get me?
they're not
the
blocking each other
Where does the TV go when it's done?
Back into the studio
Why don't you always leave it there?
because my wife doesn't like it. She only allows me for Red Zone.
By the way, this
on
is a
Sundays.
perfect opportunity for the antenna, guys. I know it's not, I got to get a second cable box.
What?
You just you hit the second TV with the antenna, and you can put either the CBS or the Fox game on.
I do that. Yeah.
Roku allows you to stream local channels now.
I know.
Really?
I know, but like there's a lag, there's a delay.
There's always a delay.
cares?
Oh,
There's
look.
always a delay.
But delay, like what? Who are you keeping up with?
I like to be as live as
He needs a
possible.
pure.
You know why? Because if you start streaming shit, then you flick on your Twitter and you get spoiled and it's no fun. And you like for example, I was watching a Premier League game this weekend, only available on Peacock, and I get the notification that a goal is coming like 30 seconds
Oh,
before,
yeah.
and it's like, well,
Just don't follow.
like what's
Yes,
the point?
I don't look at social media when I'm watching sporting events that I care about. Like that's what I've learned.
Really?
It's so freeing.
Yeah,
because this is what I've learned. I'll watch a game. I'm like, this is a pretty good game. I'm like, let me see what they're talking about on Twitter. Oh my God, the refs are so bad. Like I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice.
Oh
the
no, I'm
calls.
totally with you. That is my favorite part of watching sporting events without Twitter. Is like, oh, I have like different opinions
Yes.
to the common consensus on social media. Like I've completely experienced this game different than anybody else.
I sneaky like the notification or the Twitter when you see it and it's saying something that's already going to happen. So you're like, oh, it's a touchdown for DJ Moore, and I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, oh yes,
That's my favorite.
Let me watch this develop.
My favorite is when you're watching with somebody and you get to sound like a source. I think I'm gonna hit DJ Moore on the deep post here. And it's the Scott Hansen. Let's go live to Carolina.
And you're like, oh, please.
Like whenever you go to the Red Zone channel and they're in punt formation,
I love it.
something is about to happen.
Yeah.
Either
Because they
someone
would
gets blocked or
return for a touchdown or something crazy.
This
is about
just
to
happened in
happen.
Arizona.
they need
and
to
you're like,
work in a few fair catches. Just to throw us off. I'm not
That's a
even
great
kidding.
shout. That's a great
like
shout.
twice a week.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Arizona, and then they're punting. You're like, oh shit, and the guy's just like,
you wanted to do it
or like a
Lynn?
5-yard return. Like a simple fall down, they go to commercial. That's a great shout because it's almost like whenever they go to like 1st and 10 from the Giants 8-yard line and they have 92 yards, like, all right, a pick six is coming because they wouldn't transition to this unless something was about to happen.
Can I ask you guys are you guys familiar with the Banana Bowl?
No.
I was doing radio last week, late night, and when I do radio, I turn on the ESPN app. I just say, what's on? And turn it on, and it says Banana Bowl, banana versus animals. And I'm like, okay, you got me.
Huh?
I click on it, and it's baseball, but it's baseball unlike I've ever seen before.
So this is the Savannah Bananas.
Yes.
I'm over them.
Really?
Too much.
Billy, let me tell you about
it's a
too
lot
much.
of publicity that they're getting right now.
It turned
They're
into
getting
like
a
the
lot of
Globetrotters.
publicity.
They are like the Globetrotters in that I don't know how many games they actually even play in Savannah because when me and Chris went earlier this year, we did a spring training game for the Marlins. Like we called the game, whatever. And that they were setting up Savannah Banana like memorabilia because Savannah Bananas were in town to play a game against whoever
Party animals. That's their main rivals. I
Yeah,
guess.
no, they do. They have like the generals or whatever, right? They have the team that they always beat up on.
The party animals, their uniform, I shit you not.
Has no sleeves, right?
It's sleeveless and it's like a tuxedo t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's a sleeveless tuxedo t-shirt.
But this stuff's not that creative.
Hold on.
They're doing like a TikTok dance before they pitch it. Like it's not that fun.
The guys would show up and their fun factor was like, superpower I'd like to have, the ability to read women's minds. I was like, what are we doing here, right? And guys are dancing, and the one pitcher is wearing like overalls, like a 1920s clown, and he's like throwing the ball between his legs, and all of it is dumb. But there was one part of it I was like, you know what? This could work.
Not the fire bat.
No,
Because I see that and I'm like, what if that ball catches on fire? Then we're dealing with 3rd-degree burns.
The guy with the stilts is the one where I was like, what are we doing here? Like, there's literally got 14 feet tall on stilts. But no, the one thing
I love him in center field, like the center fielder's on stilts.
The one thing I thought we could use this. There's a clock, like they count down.
like a pitch clock?
No, like a game clock.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like you go through innings, but like, when the clock strikes 0, I don't care what inning it is.
The game's lasts like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is brilliant. This is the one thing that they're doing. I'm like, this could make baseball work.
Yeah, I heard the whole ESPN Daily episode about it, and like they're basically creating a different form of baseball. There are the Savannah Bananas that enter, I think, like an independent league or like a Cape Cod league or like something like that. And then there is a Savannah Bananas that like are trying to change the sport.
Oh, there's
and creating,
different bananas?
Like, yeah. There's 2 different sets of bananas.
But so here's the wildest thing about that game.
But here's the thing about that clock, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're up 1 run with 5 minutes left, you're just dragging ass.
No,
Like
but if there's a
you're-
pitch clock,
So it's like
then-
soccer.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, but I mean, if there's a pitch clock, then you can't do that.
Yeah.
Billy, have you ever seen a ball go out of bounds with 5 minutes left in a soccer game?
yeah.
It's so annoying.
Let me tell you guys.
He walks over.
Back,
But
and then he walks back, and then he drops the ball.
then he waltzes away with my drugs. No, the fun thing about soccer in like the 90s, like there wasn't like multiple balls. Now it's like ball goes out of bounds. There's a kid with a ball like here. It used to be 1 ball. So like when they're trying to kill time, they would just boot that shit like into the sky, like just 17 rows in.
On like in terms of innovations, the best one was you used to be able to pass back to the
goalie.
goalkeeper,
Oh,
and you
my
could
God.
pick it up with both hands.
They used to
So theoretically, the goalkeeper can roll the ball out. The defender can just give it
Yep.
back to the goalkeeper with both hands, and they could just kill 20 minutes that way.
Do you remember in semi-pro
This
where he's
doesn't
posting
sound
up?
like fun.
no, it doesn't.
No, that's why they changed the rule.
They changed the rule, so you
Well,
can't do that anymore.
So what if you punted the ball like into the stands and someone decided, you know what, I'm going to stab this with a pen, and then there's no air in the ball.
Well,
that's the only ball.
Theoretically, the ref is like there's stoppage time, so he's accounting for all of this wasted time.
No, I'm saying
Which, by
like
the way,
there's
there's
only
never
one
enough.
ball.
No.
They popped the ball.
There's another ball in the stadium, right? It's just it wasn't readily available like it is now. But my favorite thing about that rule before they changed that rule, Witty, was it was the semi-pro. It was like throw it in the blender. Oh, no, I'm not ready yet. Like they just kept passing it back and forth. Oh man,
there was a study done that there is about half as much stoppage time given as there should be. That if we had like a clock that stopped, it would like take 10 minutes more each half.
It is the most stupid,
Arbitrary.
arbitrary, obstinate thing about that. Like, we can do this so much better. I mean, American sports, when it stops, we stop the clock.
Yeah.
And then start the clock and stop the clock and start the, like, we know our timing is on point. Then they're like, about 5 minutes.
Thereabouts. Yeah.
Why wouldn't the ref have an ability to stop the clock? So it's like, if I feel like right now time's being wasted, stop.
Theoretically, that's what the guy, on the
he's doing
side
it
is
with
the
doing.
fourth official.
Yeah.
Like they should be keeping track. But like the other day, Inter Miami played a game in which there was a minimum of 1 minute added, and the team scored like 40 seconds beyond the minute. Like the referee is just in complete control. This is probably the biggest area of match fixing, that if a referee was ever crooked, it would just be like, I'm just going to let the time go because there is
ever crooked, as if they're not.
Right. Well, I mean, I try and believe that referees have some integrity, but
There you go.
like if there were ever crooked referees, then that like was a perfect area of the game to exploit. It's something that is completely in the referee's control.
Speaking of crooked referees, tomorrow's basketball Illuminati. Don't want to miss this one.
Oh boy. What do we got?
We got the man who wrote the book on Tim Donaghy, right? They got the Netflix Untold Tim Donaghy story coming out, I believe this week, or it might already be out. So we got the guy who wrote the book. The book was called Gaming the Game, I believe.
I'll look it up for you, but go on.
And he, it's Gaming the Game. It's written by Sean Patrick Griffin. And Sean, he's a professor of law at the Citadel, right? So this dude is he's in this shit.
Can't wait to watch them lose 66-7 on the first weekend of college football.
Citadel. But he talked to the FBI. He talked to the co-conspirators. He did this thoroughly exhaustive research about Tim Donaghy and the shit that he was full of shit on and the shit that was not quite reported or whatever. And so they approach him to be in this documentary. And he asked them, did you guys read the book? And they're like, no, not really. And as he's talking to them, he realizes this is just like, hey, well, Tim Donaghy said this, so we're just going to go with it. It's just the idea that they got Tim Donaghy to sit down, they were ready to carte blanche everything.
It's sort of like what happened with Manti Te'o. I know that some of that stuff was a little bit revelatory, but really the whole conceit was they got Manti Te'o.
Right.
He sat down. They're paying him. This is going to sort of be Manti Te'o's version of events.
Except, and that's fine if it's Manti Te'o, someone who we generally consider to be an honest person.
Well,
Tim Donaghy is like a pathological liar almost. So
Really?
Yeah, it's in the book. So Sean Patrick Griffin is our guest tomorrow. He sat down with us. He gave us great insight, things that you never knew about the Donaghy scandal. And by the way, things that won't be in this documentary because there's reason to believe that we shouldn't have a lot of confidence in the filmmaking.
The sports media really failed on that one, huh?
Because David Stern said it was just one rogue guy and we kept it moving.
How do you decide if you're SPG to go first name, middle name, last name?
I asked Ethan Sherwood Strauss the same thing.
Did you?
Yeah, I was like,
And?
why?
He dropped the Sherwood. He doesn't really do Ethan Sherwood anymore, right?
I think
a bit.
we made him feel self-conscious about
Why?
it.
But how did he decide to do that? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I think there was another Ethan Strauss or something. I think there's another Sean Griffin. And so you go Sean Patrick.
Yeah, but that's life. Everybody, you're not going to be the only person with that name. That happens.
Well, that's why you had the middle name to show that you.
But who's the other Ethan Strauss? Was he writing fake basketball stories
It was like someone who was writing for Salon.com or something like that. I don't know.
Why don't you go initial in that situation?
Right. Well,
Ethan S. Strauss.
That's
no, it'd
even
be
worse.
E. Sherwood Strauss.
Oh
No, that is the absolute worst.
The Sherwood is so pretentious.
Oh, Anthony Bellamy. Yeah,
Such a pretentious middle name, Sherwood. Like,
Roy, you should do that. R. Anthony Bellamy is a great name.
oh, that is.
I'll do it when I write a book.
Well, Billy's therapist name is G. Lewis Gill. I think that's tremendous. What would your pretentious first initial, middle name, last name be?
I don't have a middle name, so that
Really?
yeah.
Ooh.
Neither do I.
Oh, wow. This is a
I
great
always
opportunity.
thought you were Amin El Hassan.
So it'd be A. L. Hassan.
Guys, you know how yesterday we gave away Dan's spot?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can we give you guys nicknames or middle names
Middle
today?
names. Sure. I don't know if I'm.
But
put
you
it on
have
my-
to legally change it.
Oh. That is a big commitment. It's also a lot of calories
too lazy.
burned. I lost my credit card while I was traveling. And so now, like, which by the way, a really cool innovation. If you have Apple Pay, the credit card changes straight away. So I report my credit card as lost. I get on a plane. 40 minutes later, I land. I have a new credit card on my phone, which is incredible. But like even that, it's like I'm thinking, oh God, now I got to go to my Google every time I have like my credit card as like an Apple, like an automatic thing. I got to remember. I got used to my 3-digit code. It was a soccer formation, so it's like I just knew it off the top of it. Right? No, it's 442. Now that that card's gone, I can't use it anymore. But I got so used to it. But I just am sort of imagining all the admin that I have to do with the change of credit card. Now, like I've been told that changing names is incredibly tedious.
Wait, but it happens all the time, right?
Right,
people get married, right?
Exactly. But I've been told, like my sister-in-law told me it was a pain in the ass to
You got to go to like the DMV and do things. There's a lot of steps.
all of you, right? So to like for the sake of a podcast gag, I don't know if I would legally change my middle name.
You know what I would do, Witty? I would say yes, I'll do it, and then I'd never do it, which is what we do at the show.
Why?
I think I can have like an affectionate middle name, but I don't know if it's going to be a legal middle name.
An affectionate middle
Yeah,
name.
like just like
kisses. Christopher Kisses Wittyngham.
No, it's like we're friends having a good time here, and like this is like kind of like my pet middle name.
Christopher Bobby Wittyngham.
Do you ever think like I wish I had a middle name, either one of you, and like what it might be?
No.
So I always understood why, which is my name is already too long. It's 21 characters as it is. Yeah. And so to add a middle name in there, it's even more writing.
I would think that you would have a middle initial of J, Christopher J. Whittingham. So what's the J name?
What if I just don't have a J name? And what if it's just J?
No. It can't be J-A-Y.
No.
That's
What if it's
ridiculous.
just the letter J?
Oh, no. What is this, Men in Black? No. You got to have a name.
I also don't have a middle name either.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I just go now and
Wait.
like all my documentation.
Wait,
Isn't
Isn't
Ryan,
Ryan
the middle name?
Nope.
That's just
hyphenated,
was that a
It's
hold on.
hyphenated. My first name is Michael Ryan.
Really?
Yeah, but
Why don't we call you
Yeah, but
Michael Ryan?
because it gets too complicated.
No.
So now, like in everything that I've ever filled out since is just Michael middle name Ryan.
No.
It's
I like.
technically Michael.
So
Dash
you're
Ryan.
like either
Bluth.
a
You're like a Bluth.
You're like a Premier League footballer or a young actor in the 90s.
No, he's a Bluth.
All have hyphenated names.
He's George Michael.
yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Ryan,
Michael Ryan.
empty middle name slot right there. For
Ah,
you
man,
guys.
I like that.
Michael
Michael
Ryan
Ryan.
kisses Ruiz.
For Witty, the J, I want Christopher J. Anthony Whittingham. How about that?
J.
XOXO.
Ja Anthony?
J apostrophe Anthony.
I like that.
I was going to say Josiah, but we can go with
J. Anthony Brown? Really?
So Billy and I are the members of the production team that are most liaise with our sales force
Love a good
at
liaise.
DraftKings. It's the it's
What
the
do we do?
It's the verb form of being a liaison.
Oh,
So we liaise
we're middlemen.
with the sales force over at DraftKings that take care of all of our sponsorship. And so we gave them a full array of things for the football season that they can sponsor should they desire.
You guys went NASCAR on them. You said stick a logo on any one of these things.
And they come to us all the time. We want more things to stick a logo on.
How about Cinephobe?
Does Cinephobe has Cinephobe had an advert? I think they've had a couple.
We do an ad for Quentin Tarantino's podcast.
That's right. Yeah, you
Movie
guys
Archives
had
or something
the
like
Quentin
that.
Tarantino ones.
Yeah, but I love how like in the middle of their ad, they stole a Cinephobe line, like, "Oh, the movies you're afraid to admit you love." Like, wait, what? Like they just stole our copy.
I don't think that's how that one worked.
No.
I think we got sent a line and you read it. Yeah, you read it. Anyway,
Okay.
so this coming NFL season, we've got a couple of sponsors we're really excited about. One,
Also, lots of things are still for sale if you want.
yes, if you
And
run
we're for sale if you want to just reach out to us independently, because I don't think there's any rules.
Chris, are you still?
What
for
are the
sale?
rules on like a random person just wanting to sponsor something? Like, what if my neighbor Carl? What if my neighbor named Carl was just like, I want to sponsor this segment? If he
absolutely
pays,
could.
If he
You
pays
remember
the
that?
right
Absolutely
price, it's
could.
like this segment is brought to you by Chris's neighbor Carl.
Remember
Yeah.
the polls? Remember when we were at ESPN? There was a guy because like we had to sponsor the polls and then they stopped. The sponsorship ended.
But I thought we made that part up about like some guy.
No.
I don't remember.
Wait, you talking about like Chris from West Palm Beach or whatever wasn't a real person?
I don't remember
I think
that.
that's made
so.
up. I don't remember.
No,
Yeah.
God.
I don't think we took $10,000 from some
No,
person.
well, they stopped us. ESPN stopped us. Like you can't have people just sponsoring stuff. It has to go through the proper channels.
Well, I mean, there's different rules back then.
yeah, I know. Was that real? Are you guys for real?
I don't think that was real.
It was just made up.
You can ask Feldman. Feldman knows. You don't have to talk to Feldman.
Talk to Feldman
You
again.
need
Me
to
and him
not-
need to catch up.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do not.
We got a couple
I need
things
the
we gotta
money.
talk about, too.
I really need the money.
We need to stop talking directly to Feldman.
No.
What?
That's my boy.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, we have a process here. We have to
No,
follow
I
the
know,
process.
It's more of like a friendship call than like a business
Yeah.
call. You know, we
Yeah.
talk like
Well, that's
friends.
how Lewis got his child's middle name sponsored. So
Well,
we need
right.
to stop with the calls to
So,
Feldman.
Chris, to answer your
okay,
question, if they're willing
keep
to pay for our going rate for podcast, yes, your neighbor Carl can sponsor the podcast. Now,
What about his son, Carl Jr.?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I like where your head's at.
Oh, Hardy's over here.
Anyway,
Oh, go to the other one.
We got a mouse
Go
in
to
the
the
house.
other one.
Nice. Wait for it, everyone. Wait for it.
It's taking too
Hold on.
long. I'm
Where
sorry,
is it?
buddy.
It's there somewhere.
Oh, now you got to turn the pot on. You got to
There's
raise
a mouse
the
in the
fader.
house.
You got to click the mouse.
I mean, you've heard there's a mouse in the house before.
Basketball?
Yes, please explain to Billy what that means.
Billy, you don't know
A
what?
minute and a half.
I'm fine. It doesn't matter.
No, you need to know.
So, Billy, when you got someone being guarded by a considerably smaller person, or not necessarily, just if you want to shit talk the guy guarding you, you call mouse in the house, which means like, oh, I got a little
Short
one on me.
shaming, yeah.
Yeah, and throw me the ball, and I'm gonna put in
2022,
work.
man.
Barbecue chicken.
Get me through
Exactly.
that.
I dare you to say that tomorrow.
Barbecue chicken. I'm hungry.
What? Mouse in the house?
Yeah.
To who?
To whom? Who do you want me to say it
Your
to?
guest co-host.
Oh, are you daring me
Are
or
we
him?
playing basketball?
I don't think
mean,
he's
we
going to
could.
be playing basketball.
we get the little hoop outside.
Yeah. Anyway,
I want to know about Ron Magill before he plays.
Okay,
Like,
what do you wanna
what's
know?
his prep? I've got him. I don't know. I've got him I've got him showing up earlier than anyone because he's got to stretch for like 20 minutes.
Uncomfortable old man stretches.
Yeah,
Right.
they are uncomfortable. They for sure look uncomfortable. So
I've
we
got
walk
him.
in-
I got him also doing some Dick Bavetta jogs.
Yes.
That's actually not far from what it is.
does Rom have warm-ups that he wears and takes off?
No warm ups. He comes in sandals.
Sandals.
Yeah, he comes in sandals.
Keep the ball,
feet.
the hoop sneakers. Don't touch
Exactly.
the ground until it's time to hoop.
No, like thong sandals.
Flip-flops?
Yeah, like flip flops.
if I wanted to secure a pair of tearaway pants, like the ones that like
East Bay.
really are the like do are
man,
those
East Bay
available
is still
to the
going, huh?
public?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course. I
Those
used to
are
have a pair of and one ones. They were awesome.
So you would
Did
you could
you
tear them,
ever?
like straight
Well,
up rip them off.
no, okay, no.
in rec basketball.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like it was like these are really cool, but like when you're younger and you're like elementary school and you
mischievous
have
friends.
them, yeah, your mischievous friends just rip your pants off all the time. Is what happens when you have
You
tearaway
gotta wear
pants
shorts
on.
underneath the tearaways.
Yeah,
Like wait, hold on. You were just wearing these pants like recreationally as pants,
I was just hanging out, man. I just liked them.
and you had nothing like just underwear, and that's it.
Well, I would wear them out like with family members that I knew were not going to be ripping off my pants because I saw it happen to enough people that I was like, I know I can't trust my classmates with these on. I'll get bullied and be pantless walking around the streets in my underoos.
So, Chris, to answer your question, the game starts at 7 a.m. Right?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's old. That's
No.
old people pick up
Dude,
ball.
on a
No, it
Sunday,
is. It's an old head game.
pay me to go play.
No, it's a Saturday, not a
Saturday.
Sunday.
Saturday, even
Saturday
worse.
morning.
God.
Yeah, 7 a.m. the game starts. And
5:45.
no,
alarm
chill.
clock?
No, it's literally across the street from my house. It's like 6:45. I wake up, roll out of bed, brush my teeth, wash my face. I'm out there.
What about stretching?
Yeah, I stretch when I get there. I mean, I don't stretch
Good.
before.
You have to
So
stretch.
so Ron walks in. Let's say the games start at 7:15. Let's say just so people can trickle in. Ron will get there maybe like 7:02, 7:05. He comes in flip flops.
Fashionably late.
He's got his shoes. He's got a bag. He's got a couple different things, and then he starts getting ready. He'll take off the sandals. He'll put on his socks. He always wears NBA socks, like the old school NBA socks with the logo.
Dude,
I
I,
miss those.
love those
They
so much.
were so great.
I had to
Perfect
start giving them away, or not giving them away, tossing them because I wore them out. Like
Holes in the bottom?
holes in the
Yeah, me
bottom, and I just kept wearing them and kept wearing them. I'm like, I'm not gonna give up on. Before they switched to stands,
Yeah.
there used to be an NBA store in not downtown Disney called City Walk, like
Yeah,
by
Disney Springs.
Universal.
No, not it was
Universal.
the Universal
Yeah.
one.
Oh.
So like the one by Islands of Adventure and Universal.
You would always see how
Studios.
big people's hands were
Yeah,
on the
you
ball.
could put your hand on the ball. By the way, did you guys
Huge
see?
hands.
Did you guys see that? Like on social, there's like a thing like in the NFL, like Hall of Fame. It's like this is how big linemen's legs
are, yeah.
And you like go and you stand to compare yourself.
It's
to
like a molding, that you walk into.
of the side of like their leg. And then like the average Joe is standing in it and it like goes up to like their nipples.
Yes.
Right? And you're like, holy shit, like these people are huge.
How wide is it though?
It's huge.
Dude,
You
his
can get,
body
like, your
fits
entire
inside.
body inside of the person's leg. But also, like, here's the thing that everybody was thinking and no one's saying is like, they missed something. You know what I mean? Like when they were doing the cast of like the sides of the leg. Yeah, you got it, Chris. You nailed it.
The mold didn't fit long. It wasn't wide
Anyway,
enough.
so there used to be this NBA store.
Do it again. Measure it again.
There used to be.
Hold on.
Give me a second.
It's calling me. There used to be an NBA store like right outside of like Islands of Adventure, and I had like the annual pass because at the time it was like buy one ticket for like $100 or get this the entire year for $103. It's like I'll do that.
Yeah.
So then you're like looking for excuses to go up. You go up like every weekend because it's like a short drive-ish from down here, right? So every time I went, I got a different color pair of NBA socks. So I had like the full like spectrum. I had like navy, I had baby blue, I had yellow, orange, green, maroon, red, black. I had every color except white because I'm like, these are just gonna get dirty. I don't want white, right? The most comfortable socks. I'd walk around with everything I'd be wearing was these NBA socks. And then the store closed and they turned it into like this Willy Wonka's chocolate factory type of
It was
thing.
That
like
place
the
is
M&M
fire.
factory.
That place is fire.
Is it? I've never gone. But once that died and then Stans took over, I was like, this is the end of an era. No more NBA socks.
Stans had the deal for like 3 years, and then Nike does it all.
Oh, really?
Nike does the socks too. But no, those are great socks. I still have a pair that I wear. You got to talk about holes. When I hoop, I double sock. So even the ones that have
Naturally.
holes in them, like they still get run.
So he's got a whole duffel bag,
You
right?
does the hole go over? The hole is pair number 2 above the sock that's on your
the
foot.
inner sock has to be the one that's solid.
Intact.
Because otherwise, if you put the hole in there, then you're gonna feel your toe go through it and touch the other sock. That's a weird feeling.
Oh, so my NBA socks never got holes on the toes. My NBA socks
heel.
got holes on the heel.
Yeah, mine too.
But I think it's because I had rough floors and I was walking around in just socks and the floor was tearing up the
You
socks.
can't walk with them outside too, because that's where it really gets like.
Yeah.
It's tearing up my socks when I'm with you. There you go. What?
Oh, no buy-in.
Man, that hurt.
So Ron puts on his NBA socks.
But that whole like show up to the game in sandals to then put on your shoes.
No, that's how you
boss
do it.
move.
If you're an athlete,
You're just-
if
No.
a
You
Never
common
wear
shoe.
your basketball shoes
Oh, stop
outside.
it.
Never wear them.
Never.
Never. I wear them to play ball in, and that's it.
I don't
Exactly.
believe you.
That's it. Well, I don't do anything anymore. So
I'm judging you, but I guess I do that with golf shoes.
Exactly. You wear your golf shoes to the
But
concrete.
golf
no.
shoes have the little thing on the bottom that you can mess up.
But my hoop shoes need grip.
yeah.
But you're playing recreational basketball.
Yeah, but
you're not an
okay.
NBA player. It
That
doesn't matter.
Wait, it's
Are
not-
you
it's
going?
not about-
do you have set up like before your games, like the little like
Sticky
sticky
pad?
thing that
No,
you
I don't.
stand on?
I don't have
Dude.
that.
Do you do the thing where you wipe the stuff off your shoes?
You
it's
have
just a
to.
power move to like. It just
Guys, you
makes
have-
you
you
look
do-
like a
guys, you
basketball
don't
player.
understand.
You do the
have
LeBron
to.
chalk thing, don't
No, there's
you?
no chalk. There's no chalk, but you always have to wipe the bottom of your shoes, and that's why I also don't walk with them outside, because then they get dust
Do you
and dirt.
slap the floor on defense?
No, I don't play.
Do you think they're taking care of this court that well? Like the court is probably
They're
full of
not.
crap.
That's the point.
You don't play play
That's the
defense?
point.
No, I don't play defense.
Oh,
As
God.
if do you slap the court on
Like
defense?
man-on-man defense, and I'm slapping the floor like Duke. No, I don't do that.
No, but
Half the time we're playing zone.
Billy, that's the point. They don't take care of the floor, so that's why you can't risk having dusty ass shoes that you've been.
But you just look cool doing that thing where you're sliding like the bottom of your shoes. Like,
Have you ever seen somebody play
my point
recreational
is-
basketball and be slip sliding like they're
But
on
my
roller
point
skates?
is, I think you would do that even on a great court because it just looks cool. It's just like, I'm a basketball player. Let me do the thing before I go.
I need to do it. What do you want me to do?
What round pick is Ron? If there's like 15 guys out
Here
there.
we go. Blast.
Well, hold on.
yeah,
Let me finish with Ron's like
Paint a picture.
Who's
getting
better,
ready.
Bill Lawrence or Ron?
Bill Lawrence out here hooping.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
with
Bill,
Tony.
Me and Bill played like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I feel.
Who's better, Bill
I mean,
or Ron?
no, Bill's better. Bill's got more legs. Like as far as like
everyone has
Bill's
two.
nice.
Bill's nice. He's got a great old man game. And finally, somebody can understand what I'm saying with that. Everybody else was saying, oh my God, that's horrible. I'm like, no, he's got a great old man game. He's got great pump fakes. He uses both sides of the hoop. Like, he's a really good player. I could tell 30 years ago he was a problem. Now he's 50 years old. He's got a rotator cuff, rotator cuff care.
Yo, is it wild when like whenever you hear like someone hoops and you're like, man, if he's playing, I could get out there and play. That's honestly, I'm like, if Bill Lawrence out here playing, man, I could go out there and play.
Bill Lawrence could dunk you. He's a big dude.
I've got him with like a mean streak on the court.
Yeah,
like not
me
in a,
too.
like not fighting
Elbows.
people, but just like you want like
elbows.
you don't
He's
want
a
to go
tough-
after. Yeah,
He's a tough guy. He's
Yeah?
a tough guy to play with. Yeah. I'm telling you, he's like, I'm trying to think of what his equivalent, basketball player would be. But
yeah,
like,
all of this is just like very insulting to Ron McGill. Can
it's-
you
no,
get to
that's
say
not
a
true,
complimentary
man.
thing about Ron?
So
You're
I'll
like,
say
does
complimentary
Ron
things
have a
about
good
Ron.
old man game? Because you've never given him that
he's
compliment.
never said that about Ron. You've never
No,
said he has
listen,
a tough
listen.
streak. You've never
The
said
problem
30 years
is-
ago he was a problem.
No, 30
None of these
years ago,
things.
Ron absolutely was a problem. He was
6'8",
30
right?
years ago, 30 years
Yeah.
ago. So he gets ready. He was 30 years old 30 years ago is what I was trying to say. So he puts on his NBA socks. Then he puts on double ankle braces.
Me too.
So
double ankle
one on
braces.
each ankle, not two on each ankle.
Right.
Okay.
One on each ankle. But usually you just need one for the bad ankle. He's got both just in
I like
case.
that.
Puts on some shoes. And then he starts the old man stretch. He kind of does like a lot of
Calisthenics.
calisthenics. He hits the step and he stretches the calf, That's that stretch. Yeah. Then he does a little Dick Pavetta jog back and forth.
Does he
and
do
then,
high knees or butt kicks?
No.
I've seen him do the kick, like the Russian kicks where you kick up to.
I don't know
No,
if you
he's
could say
talking. He's
that.
talking about like, yeah, it's called freedom kicks now.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, freedom kicks.
He's like, what?
Zach's in here? Where is Zach?
Zach's in the chat.
I just saw his face react. He's like, what? Is
Should
he
we, throw,
talking?
should we throw to this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach
Yeah.
Harper, everybody.
We have a best of here. Enjoy our interview with Mario Cristobal. Also, I started the segment talking
Zach.
about sponsored football segments. And
big announcement.
yeah.
We'll make that announcement
We'll
later.
do it in
Okay,
hour
all
one.
right.
Yeah,
We'll
hour
do it in
one,
hour
hour
one.
one.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
hour
called
one.
continuity, folks.
A tease.
We're supposed to have cafecito in here. It is late arriving. It is unacceptable. Thank you, Mario Cristobal, for being on with us. Welcome home. I have a million different questions. First of all, what is most Cuban about you? Give us all the ways that you are maximum Cuban.
There's no way that I'm not. That's the point. I'm the guy that when I was living in Oregon used to hang out at Mucho Gusto for an hour to be able to speak Spanish while I was away. So everything from café con leche y la tostada por la mañana, desde que tenía 4 años to you name it.
Right there. That's
Leche
it.
was not one of them.
So what was the breakfast since you were 4 years old, and was it made by grandma?
It was made by both abuela and abuelo, and what happens is, as you know, when you dump a shot of cafecito in your café con leche and you're 4, you bounce off the walls and you don't take advantage of nap time at school. So the teacher thinks there's something wrong with you, and they send you over to detention all day. So I had to deal with that. I think all Cubans kids had to deal with that.
Is that the reason that you don't have time to dream? Because you are hopped up since 4 years old on some crack cocaine octane coffee?
Yeah, I tell you what. But yeah, as you know, being raised down here, being raised during that time, there's nothing like it, right? Hard to explain, really. Like truly a historical and epic time and era down here in Miami. So really grateful for that.
Outside of your family, outside of your friends, give me a handful of things that you missed most about Miami.
Well, I'm a water baby. So, I mean, I think my dad and my brother fished off of every bridge from here to Key Biscayne to Miami Beach down to the Florida Keys. So we did that. Haven't been able to do that in a while. The food, the people, really the energy. I mean, landing in the airport at Miami International versus anywhere else, it's let's just say it's a far cry from that. Traffic did not miss, but I'm okay with that. I love the rolling thunderstorms that come in and then leave you in a hot sauna out there on the field. That's always good as a player and a coach. But, man, I just everything about it, man. I mean, there's nothing like it. People always talk about the weather. I mean, I play football in 20 below or 100 degrees. It don't matter. But overall, it's always about the people and the energy.
Coach, the tiny jersey they gave you for that opening press conference, where is it? What'd you do with it? I mean, regifted? Where is it?
Did you ask why is it so tiny?
I've decided to use it as a punishment for anyone that doesn't behave. They got to wear it.
I think the part that people don't know about you, Mario, is
you say my name, bro?
Oh, wait a minute. We've got a fan here who's very excited. I
haven't seen him in years.
People, we have not seen People in years. People is here to say hello to Mario.
What's up, bros? Oh, yeah, Mario. Welcome home, bro.
¿Qué pasa, caballo?
Bro, that's my guy right here. You know what? I was a little bit worried about you. I'm not going to lie. A little bit worried about you. Because you know what I said? I said, how is it that this school is going to pay $800 million to este tipo that FIU votó? But as I suspected, Pete Garcia, and you can confirm this, es tremendo come mierda. I don't know what he was doing cuando te votó. Same thing with Blake James. Say it right now. Blake James come mierda for not hiring me 5 years ago. And the Pete Garcia is a come mierda also. Everybody knows it. Dilo.
The only thing I can say is that is, you talk about things I missed. That is one of my favorite words. I can't repeat it on air, but that is one of the best words ever created by this brand.
Is it one word? I thought come mierda was two words.
I think you put it all together.
Oh, here we go again with this journalist. Be careful around him, Mario. I'm telling you right now. Ten cuidado, because this people, I don't know if you know who he is. This is Pelgran over here who tried to cancel your university's football program probably when you were there. Snitch. Ten cuidado.
Coño.
Exactly. Coño is right. And we keep coming on here, giving him todo este respeto, but he's the guy that tried to end this university. Not even the program, the university, the one that he allegedly went to.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Oye, Mario, listen, it's been a lot of softballs right now, so let me ask you serious questions, okay? Softballs, that's right, Daniel. Softballs.
Tell him to go
What's going on? Excuse me?
You're just throwing heat right now, people.
Relax, okay, Mike, relax. Mario, what's going on with the turnover chain? Are we done with that or what?
Oh, I'm not addressing any of that stuff till we actually start. The guys are back on the 16th, I believe, 17th, which we'll meet. And the entire program, like I spent the last 4.5 weeks just assessing everything top to bottom, from personnel to culture, you name it, so that when they come, we start fresh, and I'll get with the team on everything regarding policies, regarding culture, how we do things. So all that stuff will be addressed, and I'll get it out there as soon as possible.
So yes or no?
It's a good question.
Tough question.
You went right into coach speak from Coño. We thought we had softened you up with Coño.
Mira que people te gusta joder, coño.
That's right. No, I'm gonna hold you accountable, because that's what's been missing in this program for years. Because we had that other guy that came on here and everybody's like, oh, these guys are Cuban, this guy's an embarrassment is what that guy was. Man, he did. And I was a little bit worried, because here's the thing, Mario, and you know this better than everybody. Cubans can do anything. They can turn trucks into boats that drive across the ocean. But this guy has people thinking that Cubans can't coach football. And it's an embarrassment. And now people are going to stick that to you. So I need to make sure that this is a totally different situation. And I'm not going to get into the coaching moves so far. But I'm a little bit worried about this mirror ball, because I don't know if I could say it now, but he's like, the last time that we had a coach that was like that was Manny Diaz. And then, I don't know about this other guy that you brought in for the weight training, but that guy, is he good or is he a grande por
Are you
gusto?
kidding me? You got to settle down here, people. Tell us about the mustachioed strength coach.
Hey, well, this one's for people. Last time I checked, the Outland Trophy winner, that's the number 6 overall pick for the Detroit Lions, was groomed and coached by Alex Mirabal. So I'll leave it at that. Not to mention.
There you go. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Mario Cristobal.
Okay, aquí it's going to be about los grandes, los animales up front. You got to be.
But good grande is not grande por gusto. Say it. We will not have grande por gusto. Promise me right now.
The strength coach, his name is Aaron Feld. I'm sure you saw him. He was with me at Alabama, then was over at Georgia. We went and kidnapped him right away to take him to Oregon. Porque tipo un caballo. He knows the industry. He understands the sport part of it. And the guy's a complete pro. And the energy that comes out of him is like, carajo. The guy's unbelievable. So those two guys are home runs. More are coming over the next couple of days throughout the course of next week, so we can hit the road running come once the contact period begins again on Thursday.
Are you satisfied, people? Are you
look, Mario, between us, we'll talk, shh, okay? They don't test the coaches, right? Because ese tipo me parece un poquitico, you know what I mean? And su raza un poquitico, but that we don't need to worry about because they only check the players. So we don't need to worry about that coach, even though he's ese tipo está inflado, bro.
I mean, he is impressive. He is.
He got everything at the GNC on our side. Over
Yeah, but I know people at that GNC and I know people at the LA Fitness, so don't, you know what I mean? Ya tú sabes.
Oh, man.
Oye, where do you get your croquetas from? This is very important. Are you an Isla Canarias guy? Or are you a La Carreta guy? A Versailles guy? Because I know someone at Isla Canaria and we can maybe work something out, because this is what I was thinking, especially if you get rid of the turnover chain. There's this big cafetera that's on wheels that they have on Bird Road. And I was thinking, we get that cafetera and we put it in one side of the end zone. And then we can celebrate with cafecitos after touchdowns. And then in the other side, I can call my boy John from Isla Canaria, and maybe we get a big inflatable croqueta that we put in the other end zone. And then that's how we have it. Croqueta, cafecito in both end zones. What do you think?
I think empanada over croquetica. That's my choice.
Oh, yes.
Whoa.
Yep.
Cógelo suave, bro.
He's going to throw a loaded meat potato at you. You better back off, people. He's not having any more of this.
No, on a side note, this is very different than any interview I've had.
Well, that's because we asked the tough question. Everyone else, pardon my French, is pussyfooting around you, and we're not doing that here today. We're asking you the hard questions, and we're going to hold you accountable. I also have a business proposition for you when it's appropriate, so Dan can let me know.
All right, give us a second. Let me just ask him a couple more questions here.
Good coaches at Miami, the real good ones at Miami, they were held accountable, and they were all tough asses. So,
well, we haven't had any of those in a long time.
Hey, I'm going to hold your ass accountable too, all right?
I dare you.
Okay, just back off for a second,
Just for a second,
There are a lot of Miami fans who would like to hear from the coach. Just back off for just a second.
They also want to hear from people.
Well, welcome.
Stop encouraging him, please.
I am not disputing that they also want to hear from people. It has been a long time. You along the path here, and Mario's handling this much better than the previous coach.
You think?
Because Mario's maximum Cuban. But one of the things that people don't know perhaps about you, Mario, is that as menacing as you are and you were as a player, your brother would drag you around by the hair, right? Your brother, Luis es el animal de los animales.
Luis salvaje, and I think you're trying to bait like a cage match between me and him. I think that's what you're doing with that comment right there. But no, Luis been a judo, salvaje for a long, long time, and he certainly was a great player. But okay, look, Miami's Miami, and the energy and to be able to talk like this is what Miami is, right? Like we all come from really different upbringings and we've seen it all down here. So this is awesome. So I enjoy this. I'm all about it. And brother, we got a ton of work that we got to do to make it look like we want it to look like. And I'm talking about in every aspect. And that's okay. I mean, that's why, I've got the honor and the privilege to be back here. But It needs el apoyo. It needs todo el mundo. Okay, let's go, because when you watch Miami from afar, the thing that stuck out to myself and a lot of our alum was like, coño, man, when things don't go well, it almost feels like it tears each other apart a little bit, and that's hard. And
That's
then
what's up.
the wave of momentum, there's a lot of youths, and it's affecting recruits in a great way. I mean, the guys that we have committed and signed are top tier guys, man. And this roster needs to look like that. After a few years, it needs to look like one of the best, if not the best, in the entire country. So we got to keep rolling, man. Pa'lante, pa'lante.
Can you tell us what the greatest concern you had before taking the job about Miami that was allayed?
Well, I from afar, you could tell that from a recruiting standpoint, things weren't working out, right? They weren't, you weren't hitting on some of the top tier guys on a consistent basis, right? So there were holes, or I would say there was a lack of depth and maybe some areas in the roster that needed more development, more improvement. But the one that really concerns you when you go away to Alabama, imagínate, you go over there and the place looks like the Taj Mahal, right? You go to Oregon and the football building itself, the training room, the equipment room, right? You walk in there and it's the who's who of the Air Jordans, right? And just all the bells and whistles, recovery systems, strength and conditioning, support staff, the personnel in your personnel department, from your director of recruiting, director of scouting, director of on-campus relations. You name all, it's like an army that Coach Saban had put together, a flow chart that really just encompassed everything that you could ever imagine at the highest level. Player development people, sports psychology, the attack on mentality and the attack on complacency through sports psychology, and also the mental health specialists. All those things were resources along with facilities that were my biggest concern. That was it, because it has to look a certain way for it to turn into something that looks a certain way. Does that make sense? And
they promised you, whatever your fears were, they're gone.
They're gone. Miami's going to look like the best in the country, and as long as it takes to go.
The U is back. Mario, is the U back? Yes or no? Dan, ask him direct questions. Is the U back? Yes or no?
You just asked him.
Well, that was hard to hear. What did you say?
Is the U back? Is the U back?
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Is the U back?
These are not yes or no questions. I
oh my God.
Go. There's no slogan. There's no bull. You know what? We got to work, man. There's been enough slogans. There's been enough caca out there for a long time about this. It's time to work. It's time to grind, and it looks a certain way. And the U has to go to work. There's no more, comiendo, we got
mierda, comiendo mierda.
Last thing I'll ask you before we give you a toast here, and people's got a gift for you that you can't quite see necessarily, but there is a gift involved. The most emotional moment you have had shared with anybody along this path, because I've got to imagine landing here, the flight, seeing your family, whatever the celebration was, whatever was happening in the yard, there were probably 1,000 of them, but the one you think of first is?
Oh, no, it's Mom. I think you guys, it's known out there. Mom's sick, and I appreciate all the thoughts and prayers. People have been unbelievably supportive. Imagínate, la gente en el hospital también han sido increíble with our family situation. So, unfortunately, because of that and because of the pace, and the pace is manic, it really is manic, like 19 to 20 a day. It's like it hasn't settled in yet, but I think Mom and her seeing the fact that I was wearing, a UM logo, so I've seen the U, I still call it UM, seeing the logo on my shirt, and that I was back home is the one that really struck hard.
Mario, it is a thrill to have you back. People, do you want to do this presentation here? You have something that you want to? Okay.
Enough, Dan. Thank you. I got this from here.
Yes.
Mario, listen to me. I know that you're about turning things around at this school, and Sebastian has been very nice for the years that he's been around. But I think that it may be time that we update it. And you didn't jump on Zoom, but I'm going to show you this mock-up I have of a potential new mascot. And here you go. And as you can see, for the people that see it, my boys, Renee and Raul designed this. And it is a gallo with a chain that says 305 and a hat. And I would be more than happy to pass this along to you. And just so you know, I have for you also Nuevo de Paquete, a custom t-shirt of it that we can send your way, and we can have merchandising that we can sell and make un montón de papel.
Okay.
So let me know, I'll talk to Renee and Raul, and they can get back to you.
Are you willing to have a gallo as the mascot wearing a 305
You gotta
chain?
see it, bro. It's dope as hell. You can't see it right now because you're on the phone, but this thing is dope as hell. You're gonna like it. I'm telling you right now. What's your address? I'll send it to you.
Okay, we'll get that off air. Are you willing to consider the idea of replacing Sebastian the Ibis with un gallo?
Ya tú sabes.
Dale, bro, dale. I knew I liked this guy. I knew that this guy was different than the other one. I'm telling you right now, I knew it. And you were questioning it then, and I knew that he was different.
I was not questioning it. A toast to
and we don't even need to get into what you said about his brother in the past.
What are you talking about? A toast? Are you crazy?
He's
I would
unhinged.
never say anything about Luis. Let's a toast to Mario Cristobal with our cafecitos. Gracias, señor. We know you have to get back to recruiting.
Pa arriba, pa abajo, pa centro, pa dentro.
Yeah.
Qué rico.
Para coger impulso. Go change that.
See you later.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Beepo.
Billy, speaking of the Truly Lemonade, I went to Costco and I got like a 48 pack with when I went to Bimini, and I almost couldn't bring it on the plane because it was too heavy. Because they're Truly Lemonade at Costco, they have like a 48 pack.
Jesus. You try to get a seaplane with that?
Yes, but I did. It wasn't lemonade, it's alcohol.
Oh, okay.
So I wouldn't have to buy it in Bimini. I flew it over, and they almost didn't let me bring it on because it was too heavy. And I was like, guy, please, come on, like, give me a break. And they let me do it.
Is this for air or not?
You can use it for air.
Well, that's how Aaliyah died.
Well, I mean,
it's not for air.
A 48 pack of.
They put too much on a plane, and the plane was overweight, and then.
Was it a seaplane?
Yes.
I don't know. I think it was a private jet.
What did they take off so you could have your drinks?
Nothing. Which made me believe, like, hey, this whole weight thing, kind of bullshit.
No, the weight
That's
thing,
not a
the weight
game I
thing
want
is
to play.
not
That's
bullshit.
not a game I want to play.
All
Same
for
thing with
for
elevators.
Trulies? So you don't have to spend money at the hotel.
I mean, come on.
Alcohol. What are you doing? Come on.
Have you ever been to Bimini?
No.
Water's like $17.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they import everything. So it truly would have been like $1,000. Not happening. Or the amount of Trulies that I drank would be $1,000.
Do you guys play the game in the again? None of this is fair. Do you guys play the game in the elevator, like where you see maximum weight or whatever, and you kind of start like taking attendance of what's going on in the elevator? Like maybe let's have two people.
It's like 2,500 pounds or something.
Well,
it's like
you
really high
become
amount.
you become a really ugly person because then I look at Tony and go, I don't know, what's it, 220?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
you start
right,
trying to guess everyone's weight, and then you're like, I don't know, because it seems like it's a really big number, but like, when you get 8 people in there that are over 200,
Yeah,
you're
but
like,
even
we
if you
are.
have 8 people that are 250,
We're dancing with the devil.
But it's
right
kind of
now.
like your gas range. You know that they're not going to literally put it where, like, I imagine if it says 2,500.
I heard you say the other day. I
It's
think
a great
I was
take.
off.
It's a great take.
No, but like you got on the highway with 5 miles left.
that is a horrible idea.
That's a great take.
I didn't obviously do it on purpose. I intended when I left here. I parked here and I was like, all right, when we leave here today, I'm getting gas.
It's happened to
and
me
then
today.
I just go through I forget about that, and then I just go and I'm not thinking. I wasn't thinking I could make it.
Cars run out of gas.
You always have an extra 20,
but I'm
though.
telling you,
No,
you
you
always have an
don't
extra
always
20.
have an
have an
extra.
extra.
I'm telling you, I know
You have
for
an
a
extra
fact.
8.
No,
maybe.
dude, I was on the highway.
Driving home.
Have you ever run out of gas?
I have run out of gas. I have run out of gas.
I've never done it once.
Me neither. I've never
It's
run out of
horrible
gas,
because
ever.
it's also not as simple as, oh, let me just put gas back in and the car will restart. It's like a whole process.
Really? What's the
Really?
Well,
process?
it needs
Not
to
in
like
my-
go
not-
through like the whole engine. It's like a whole
In my
thing.
experience, it
You have to
just
turn
worked.
the key a bunch of times.
I've never run out of gas.
I've ran out of gas, and I just walked to the gas station, walked back, poured gas. And it
You
worked.
walked to the gas station?
Yeah, because the one time I did run out of gas, I was like, no, it was like a half a mile. Not that far.
Damn.
Good times.
You have 20. You have 20. At 20 to 25.
But I was bringing. What I was saying though about that conversation is elevators. If it says 2,500 pounds, you can do 3,000.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
they're not going to put the
he's
actual
right, he's
limit
right.
as the thing.
Well, you could check. You could actually get answers for your elevator show. Is like you could talk to someone in the elevator business.
Whoa, what are we doing here?
Oh, sorry.
Not for.
Well, none of this is for.
I know about it. I know about it. You pitched it, right?
We haven't started yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's that.
All right, Roy,
would that
kicking it off.
also have like freight elevators that've got like the cage that comes down?
Ooh.
I like the cage.
They save weight on doors,
Love the
probably,
cage.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like a place that has like the fake freight elevator situation. Just for
What do you mean
looks.
fake freight elevator? What do you mean by that?
Well, it's just a gimmick. It's like, let me look so cool. I have like the elevator. It's the only way you can get into my apartment. It's in movies, really, because I don't go to
Talking
people's
about
houses.
bachelor lofts in the 90s.
Yeah,
in
that you
cinema.
like pull down, and it's like,
Oh, I
this
got
seems
like
dangerous.
only murders when they go through
Something
the closet.
something Josh Hartnett would live in.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh Hartnett's bachelor
Yeah.
pad. Or like what Jeff Goldblum in The Fly was only accessible through like freight elevator. How do these people afford these places? In
Great
movies?
question.
It's incredible.
I think they've done that. It's become like a viral sensation, like the apartment and the condo and Friends. That doesn't matter if they're all splitting their income. No one can afford.
Well, the
this.
Home Alone house. They've
The
asked
Home
too.
Alone,
They're
yeah.
like, well,
Oh
what
my
did
God,
what did
yeah.
Kevin's dad do?
Kevin McAllister Sr. is absolutely a drug
boss
dealer.
boss hog.
Yeah.
Wait, but it's not feasible that back in the early 90s, someone could have afforded a home like that.
Could have been handed
at
down.
a reasonable price.
Could
Well,
have been
no,
handed down through the generation.
And you took like what, like 800 people to Europe also. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
First
He was doing
class.
well.
yeah, something was up there.
But like you hear stories all the time though of like, you know, like if you have like a home in the family, it's like they bought that in 1977 for $47,000 and now it's worth $1 million. Like there's you see all kinds of like really, like I wouldn't be surprised if back then maybe the McAllisters could have bought that for a few $100,000.
Yeah, but back then a few $100,000.
That's
What
fair.
were you doing?
Yeah.
It seemed like a normal-ish family home.
No,
And normal-ish.
What
What? It
families
was a
do you
mansion.
hang out with?
I don't know, like back then, that couldn't be a normal-ish family home.
No.
How many people were there staying comfortably?
Yeah, it was fun.
Exactly.
But this is the day before a big vacation. Not everybody lived in that
But
house.
they were all saying,
But they were there.
comfortably.
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
bed for everybody. There was a room for everyone.
And
Might have been a
just-
bathroom for everybody.
One child went to the attic, and that's because he was a shithead.
Yep.
Like that's it.
Was that the older brother?
No,
The
it was
older
Kevin.
brother was a shithead.
No.
I never understood
Kevin.
that. Yeah, but why
Kevin's
was
the worst.
Kevin's
Kevin
the
is,
worst?
Kevin's a little asshole.
Kevin's a serial
Yeah,
spider.
Kevin's a little asshole in that film.
The older brother was the. I haven't seen
thought
Home
the
older
Alone.
brother is the one with the spider.
I thought Kevin
Buzz?
was a real
Buzz?
sympathetic figure.
Yeah.
Buzz,
Buzz,
was just mean to Kevin, but I
I
didn't
haven't
really
seen Home Alone in a really long time.
Really?
I may have to watch
No,
it
no, no.
again.
You could have fooled me.
If you watch it back, Kevin's got a little mouth on him.
Yeah. Sassy pants.
Yeah, Buzz is just being a big brother.
You think that his parents left him behind on purpose?
Disrespecting him.
I don't know
Yeah.
how when it came to Lost in New York, it seemed as though like there was some intention behind it. You can maybe do this once.
The kid was a dick.
Kevin,
He was so happy to be in New York by himself. So happy.
he prayed to God that he would never see his family again.
Kid's a dick.
Yeah.
He didn't learn his lesson at all.
What was Kevin's little cousin's name? The way he slurps that Coca-Cola always made me want a Coca-Cola.
Fuller?
He's like,
Fuller, yeah.
Yeah, it's Fuller. Well,
hey,
he
look
went
at
to
you.
bed.
That was impressive. Just pulling that name out.
I've seen that movie so many times, and as I get older, the more I realize that Kevin is the actual villain.
Yeah. We're talking.
This is harsh.
I was talking about this with Fuentes. First Blood. Rambo's the villain.
Rambo's out of his mind.
Like it's so.
Rambo should have been locked up, and you throw away that key.
Dude, like the response to like what's being asked of him.
It was police brutality, though.
He killed the whole town. He murdered them.
Well,
The
Batman.
reaction was outsized.
Batman's also a bad guy, right?
Batman's the worst.
Batman's
Oh,
got
he's
problems.
a fraud.
Batman's the worst.
Yeah, Batman's
I
got
mean,
problems.
Batman.
Vigilante. He's a vigilante.
Well, all the superheroes, really. Batman,
No.
Spider-Man.
Batman's the
seems
worst.
No, Batman doesn't have any superpowers, though.
None
He's a
of them
vigilante.
believe in American courts and guilty or innocent until proven guilty. They just assume all of a sudden that they're going
Worse
to take
than that.
justice into their own hands.
Worse than that.
Billy, he's the world's greatest detective. He feels like he
Who?
knows the
Batman.
Batman's
No,
just
Billy,
a
Then why are there
spoiled
so many
rich
bad guys
brat
out there?
that
Here's
does
the
whatever the hell
problem
he
with
wants.
Batman. Here's the problem with Batman. This man's a billionaire. He could affect change through politics, through like giving money away, hiring people. What does he do?
Egomaniac.
He walks around the streets and beats up muggers. Oh yeah, thanks a lot.
I wouldn't classify the Joker as a mugger, though.
Well,
depending on the comic that you read. I mean, he's
that's true.
We're also
certainly
always
sadistic.
just
Oh, the
seeing the
Riddler?
story through Batman's
Two-Face?
eyes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what's the other
Riddler's a
side
game
of
show
it?
host. Riddler's
Harley Quinn.
No. In the most recent one, Riddler is out of his mind.
Oh,
Bonkers, mass killer.
Oh, that was terrible.
Terrible movie.
What was Mr.
Awful
Freeze?
Terrible movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, actually, this is I've had this
Mr.
take for a long
Freeze's
time.
heart is in the right place.
It's Dr.
Right.
Freeze.
It's just frozen.
It's
Sorry.
Dr.
It
Freeze.
is, yeah.
Everyone needs to stop calling him Mr. Freeze. He didn't go to Freeze school.
Evil Freeze school.
Preschool.
For 7 years.
Freezeology?
You just call him Mr. Freeze.
But that's what I love about Dr. Freeze or whatever. His name is actual Freeze, F-R-I-E-S. And he was an actual scientist. And then his wife died. And that's why
That's fries.
Not in German, it's not.
So are we ready to
Austrian.
start? Or?
Okay.
That was quality 10.
All right. Guys, we have stuff that we're selling sponsorships to, apparently. We teased it in the Big Suey, and then we said, we'll tell you guys what it is now. So, Witty, do you want to start unveiling some of these sponsored items here at the LeBatard Show?
Yes. So the first one, the Grid of Death, will make its return, and it will be sponsored by Kentucky Fried Chicken.
What?
It is
KFC?
the KFC
Oh, my
Bucket
God.
of Death.
You know what's funny? I thought you guys were going to come with some, like, one of these new type of companies.
I love how careful you're being
Oh,
right now.
Yeah, he's trying not to just.
I just like one of these new
trying
companies where it's
to
like,
not say sheets and giggles.
no, I'm not. I'm just saying like a company that like isn't on the national spectrum and is trying to get out there and, they
Like this is their foray into advertising.
year-
Yes.
This is a legacy company.
Last year, Bucket of Death was going to be sponsored by a life insurance company, and then something happened at the last minute.
Yeah, they heard what it's about.
No,
They're
no,
like,
they were
what?
all in. They were all in. I'm trying to remember. I mean, I don't remember the name of the company. I wouldn't say it anyways. But their slogan was like something along the lines of like, "You'll want your family to die."
What?
Like that's how good the insurance is, or something like that. Yeah,
See, that's the type of company we usually partner with.
yeah.
So KFC is like, this is a big
We've
leap.
never partnered with that type of company.
Yeah, that's.
Haven't we?
Have we?
Welcome to Cinephobe.
Welcome to Cinephobe.
KFC
Well, that's
is a
just
huge-
one of the things that's sponsored.
What else? What
I'm
else?
taking
Give me more.
inventory. You might be right.
We also have a segment that is popular amongst some of the members of the show and despised by another member of the show when it happens.
Is it?
This year, Greg's Lobos update is sponsored.
Yeah.
So it needs to happen. Yes.
That's great.
Weekly Lobos
who's the
update
sponsor?
sponsored.
Visible.
What does Visible do?
Well,
Great work.
Presented by Visible. Switch today at visible.com.
Okay.
That's the
All right. There it is.
That's the copy
Wait,
that I'm given.
visible.com?
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Everyone's Googling it at the same time. This is awesome.
They do great work.
What other elements are sponsored?
Oh,
Limited everything.
it's
I
visible
like
by
anything.
Verizon.
Oh.
It's a mobile.
I know.
Verizon.
Yeah.
right,
Verizon.
Visible.
There we go.
Save and abuse.
Yes.
So
Verizon,
Visible.
KFC. What else we got?
We were having a production meeting about Visible and how we're going to do the Greg's Lobos update because they want us to start it next week. But
Oh, wow.
obviously, we're 2 weeks out from the start of the fantasy football season, so we're thinking like a draft preview, a draft review, and then we get into the football season. But I'm just sort of envisioning next week. Dan returns from vacation, I believe, on that day. Yeah, well, and he like comes back and we have a sponsored Lobos update for the next 19 weeks.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be thrilled.
A major parent company. This is incredible.
Yeah, man. All right.
What a
else?
development.
What else we got? What other sponsored elements are there?
Well, that was it in terms of the major ones.
All right.
But
couple
I mean,
biggies.
like Greg's
Couple of biggies.
Lobos being sponsored.
It also shows there's plenty of opportunity for
Plenty
more
of inventory.
sponsors to come
Yeah.
on board.
Now, does
I could use the money, yeah.
Does
Lots of room
Greg
for
see
growth.
any of this money?
Well,
Does Greg know that?
Yeah, in the form of talent fees for him
th-
showing up.
this pays-
Although, do we pay him? We don't pay him. We don't pay him. No,
Okay.
not whatsoever.
It's funny.
We're working on
We
it.
pay him. We pay him in Greg Cody show plugs.
yeah.
Literally,
Which he's-
that's the deal.
That's currency right
hey, Chris, what's on this
That's
week's
almost as good
episode
as
of the
money.
Greg Cody Show?
Jessica Smetana this week on the Greg Cody
Wow. How'd you get her?
Show. Musical talk.
Dude, I was gonna say this because this morning before the local hour, like I like to go to the Miami Herald site, look up what's hot, what's going on,
I'm not that rich.
and the number. Well, no, If you do it on a desktop, it's free.
How many free articles?
Okay.
I'm doing it on a desktop. I can't.
I got it for free.
That's not true.
No, I
agree.
Subscribe to The Athletic. I agree.
Which website?
The Athletic?
The Herald.
The Herald, if you, the Herald has gotten very tight. I used to save to Pocket, but.
Pocket doesn't work anymore.
Well, Pocket works for some of them, but not that one. The Herald does not work for the, for the saving to Pocket, to Pocket. You can do the Safari Reader View is generally the another good workaround. You can also go incognito. Occasionally that works.
Safari Reader View?
Yeah. If you automatically set articles to go to Safari Reader View, sometimes they pop up just before the paywall goes up.
Does that work with
this is on desktop.
Zach's employer?
I don't believe so. No. The Athletic for me has the most airtight paywall. I can't get around it.
Baby.
They got to pay for Zach's collagen.
No, all right. Liquid collagen, not just collagen, not that powdered crap. Liquid collagen that actually works.
Your skin looks
this hair,
great.
man.
Your skin looks good.
Thank you. I've got Jimmy Neutron hair right now because I need a haircut. It's all collagen up there.
Yeah.
Liquid collagen. DM me for a $10 off link.
Your forehead is smooth. Your hair is long. There's no
Well, I just spent some time in the desert, guys. Really aerates, you know?
Where'd you go?
Palm Springs.
I'm glad I asked you that question right while you're taking a vigorous swig of whatever that is. What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Irish coffee?
Out of a Danny Trejo's coffee mug that was given specifically by Danny Trejo himself.
And it's got Danny Trejo's mug on it.
Yep.
The mug has a mug on it. You guys see what I did there?
Look at that.
Danny Trejo gave you that mug?
No, he gave it to a friend who gave it to me.
Oh, okay.
That counts.
Trejo is big into the licensing thing, right?
Trejo has got some
donuts,
Stugotz in him.
tacos. Yeah, he's
I've
got
been
it
on
all.
Uber Eats, and you know how you can kind of tell, like, oh, wait a second, this is a bodega or this is a gas station.
Right.
Where's the brick and mortar Trejo's Tacos?
Oh, I think wasn't it in San Antonio? Or
Yeah,
somewhere?
but in Miami there are
No, we got a bunch here.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to Danny Trejo.
Yeah, no, he's doing the thing.
Doing the damn thing.
Yeah, Ric Flair's also doing it with Woo Wings.
With what?
Woo Wings.
What are Woo Wings?
They're wings with woo.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Woo Wings.
That's the name of the. That's the name of
but
the.
you can. I like to play that game on Uber Eats. It's like try to find out if this is a bodega or not, or if this is a gas station. And it's usually like the breakfast places that have like puns in their names, like excellent breakfast.
Oh yeah.
And then you look up the address and you put it in Google Earth and you realize, oh, this is a 7-Eleven.
There's a bagel truck here called Yeasty Boys, which I find very clever.
Clever.
I noticed on Postmates, real quick, I noticed on Postmates yesterday that you can get popcorn from a movie theater delivered. Like you can get concessions.
That sounds
which I found
the worst,
very odd.
The worst.
Stupid. It's like a robot menace of the two most upcharged items.
Right.
How much is that? $15. Yeah, $15 for a bucket of popcorn.
$45 for popcorn. It's got to be. After all the fees and administration fees and taxes and delivery fees. And
I fell for you pay for Postmates Premium or whatever, and you think like you're saving money on that. You're saving some money, but then you still go to the taxes and fees section. It's like, all right, this is not a 6% sales tax.
I cannot believe that. Who would go from to Uber Eats or Postmates to any sort of delivery service to get the most upcharged food on the planet? Notoriously.
And by the way,
should I do it tonight? Should I do it tonight? I'll do it.
It's like the Mobile Suit Gundam of upcharges.
And it's the funny thing is it's not even good.
Oh,
like it's like is this the best popcorn you're getting?
Yes.
From a movie theater?
Yes.
You're wilding.
Where is there better popcorn?
Garrett's.
I'm not a gourmet popcorn guy.
Okay.
Name two.
I just like straight up movie theater. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Wait. What's the second? What's the second place? That's
Dan LeBatard. Let me just say right now,
he's gonna have to make you his popcorn.
I am sick and tired of that bit. I am sick. Enough. This thing that Dan thinks like his popcorn is somehow it's popcorn. It's popcorn. It's limited to how good it can be.
It's solid, but
it's popcorn.
I will say he's very proprietary of tahini.
No, you gave it away.
Hey man,
no.
more secrets over here.
It's just
Dan acts like
it's bizarre.
It's
he
a
acts
recipe.
like he created tahine.
Well, he acts like it's a recipe passed down generation from the old country. And I don't mean Cuba. I mean like before that, from when they came across.
It's great. I took
from
his
Gibraltar.
recipe. I took his recipe. I just started putting tahine on my popcorn, and boom, Dan LeBatard popcorn.
I mean, do you have like a top 5 list of bits you're sick of?
I can come up with one.
This is a very dangerous
Let's
game.
eat at this trough.
Don't do it.
That's number 5.
I've got a top 5 list if you want.
What do you have, Zach?
Top 5 ways that Amin was awful yesterday on the show.
What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Everyone said
He
I
was
was
terrible.
amazing.
Beetle
I
was
thought
good.
the shows were great.
Yeah,
Beetle was great.
Beetle was great.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
I'm sorry you don't like success. All right, my fault. What are you gonna do? You gonna be unsuccessful?
I also probably have a top 5 quotes that Amin has butchered that I can't stand anymore at this point from movies.
Speed is everything.
Are we just doing Cinephobe now?
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing.
I was kind of waiting for the show to devolve into that, where you guys just start doing Cinephobe.
It only
with us.
took 10 minutes.
You haven't done the ascertain situation yet.
I found one. I'm on my Uber Eats app right now. I found a place called OK Cafeteria.
Okay.
Oh.
Quick Google
That's got to be
search.
gas station.
Gas station.
Yeah.
Why
Is that like a Sinclair's?
Why just OK Cafeteria?
Okay.
Why can't you at that point just go for very good?
No. It's okay.
Why?
No, you keep
You don't wanna
keep
lie.
the expectations low. Yeah.
It's like,
Just all right cafeteria.
What are the top 5 things that Amin did wrong yesterday?
All right. Well, I've got some OLIs as well. I have a lot. It's a long list, but I can cut it down to top 5.
Nah, don't worry about that.
OLI. He messed up a Horrible Bosses 2 quote
Which one?
and then came up with the word rear assist. I don't know if you guys caught that. I think he was trying to say rarest, but he said rear assist.
What was the quote?
You said the coarsest, rear assist rope in our rope inventory.
I said rarest. Rarest is what I said.
Rarest, but with a twang.
Yeah. Clean your ears. Maybe they got some liquid collagen for that.
Rear assist is something.
Probably do. I'll check it out. I'll let you know. Also, OLI, saying I'm here to promote collagen when it's liquid collagen.
You do
Also,
look good.
OLI.
You look very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel terrible,
Yeah.
but that's mostly just the desert in me from this weekend. A lot of indulging.
Leftover COVID.
It's also not a great quality camera.
Amin pretending Prime has the best interface when it clearly doesn't.
What are you talking about? What are you talking
You might
about?
have to say it.
Yeah. Netflix has such a better interface. They don't
No, it
have
doesn't.
much to watch.
Does
But
it
it's
have
such a better interface.
X-ray? Does it have X-ray?
Who cares about X-ray? I already
care
know the
about
people that I
X-ray.
need to see.
No, see? Spoken like someone who doesn't do the trivia.
What is
Another
X-ray for the
OLI.
class?
X-ray is when
It
you
just tells
pause it.
you-
It tells you everybody who's on screen.
Who's on screen?
Yeah.
Trivia about the movie. What song is playing? Like, it's
I don't like
amazing.
that.
I love
That.
it.
No, I like
Works
it.
too
I'm with
much
Amin. I like
information.
X-ray.
No, I like to Google it.
Enjoy the movie as is, you nerds. Like, just, you don't need to look everything up.
Oh, just go to IMDb.
Exactly.
our
That
parents
takes too
did.
long. Nah.
Yeah, but what meaningful information have you gotten from that, Tony?
Sometimes I'm watching a movie and I'm like, my guy, what's his name?
Yup.
And then boom, I pause it and it's my guy.
And not only my guy, but where have I seen him? Oh, he
the
was
other
in that
places.
thing.
No,
Exactly.
Just pause it and flip open
Yeah.
the IMDb.
hold on. Let me pause the movie and go to a completely different device. Why? It's right there.
Just what-
I can just pause and it's there on my screen.
Just want to remind you, Amin falls asleep during Cinephobe movies constantly.
So that's
Also-
why.
OLI. Claiming it's weird to check out a landing page on apps when I know, in fact, he's discovered movies from doing exactly that.
That's not true. That's not true. What I've discovered movies
Have
is
not gotten to the top 5 yet.
movies that are suggested.
Got one more OLI.
By the way, while we're on this, that whole like top 10 movies right now on Netflix is total BS. Of
course.
Like there's
Catered
no
to you.
way
Absolutely.
there's no way everyone just decided this weekend to watch Blue Streak. Like it's just impossible. No one's doing that.
As a matter of fact, let's all do that right now. Let's all go to
A
Netflix.com.
Knight's Tale.
Wait, I
Knight's
gotta
Tale has
text
been
my
on there
friend.
for 3 years.
I gotta
It's been
text
on there
my-
for 3 years.
Wait, is this the part
Top
where
10.
we all find out that
I don't
Netflix
like this
has
game.
been lying to us all?
No, this is the part where we all find out that we've been stealing passwords.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys play this game without me.
I've got one more OLI.
You know, a year ago, I found out that my cousin-in-law was still getting DVDs mailed to him by Netflix.
What?
Yeah.
They stopped that service.
No, I swear to God, it was like 2.5 years ago because he was at his old place. And I was in his kitchen grabbing myself a drink, and I saw an envelope. I saw an envelope with a DVD. It was like the Christian Eriksen game. There was like a Netflix envelope DVD there.
Does he still have night and weekend minutes on his cell phone?
Shout out to Anytime.
By the way, I know for a fact.
Oh, the Anytime minutes were a game changer.
I know this list is catered to me because number 5 on my top 10 movies is Sing 2. Yeah. And I'm aware of the presence of Sing 2 because Mike talks about it all the time.
Sing's great.
Sing 2 is the greatest sequel ever made. Yeah.
Wow.
Better than Godfather 2. If you look
better
at the
than
gulf,
Rocky 3?
If you look at the we've done this, between the gulf between Sing 1 and Sing 2 is astronomical.
Sing 1 was pretty good.
I like Sing 1.
Have you seen Sing 2?
No, I haven't.
All
right, let's go. Keep going with this list, Zach.
Okay, last OLI.
Jesus.
Saying he crossed the street not at a crosswalk because he's from New York City. People from New York are the only ones who care if somebody's from New York.
I thought this was
I'm from
a list of things that got wrong.
Sacramento. I cross the street wherever. From Sacramento. There's
Also,
nothing to do
trying to be
with
from
New
New
York
York.
I think New Yorkers are second on this list. Number 1 is New Jersey.
Sacktown.
Oh, God.
People from New Jersey are fucking obsessed with being from New Jersey.
The Garden
Nobody gives a shit about New Jersey. Stop talking about it all the time. I consume so much New Jersey content. It's
From
like
who?
I just see people in my life that are from New Jersey, that talk about New Jersey, that are proud of being from New Jersey.
Bimmel's
It's
from New
enough.
Jersey.
It's enough.
This is
Get over
Witty's
yourselves.
passive aggressive way
Oh, my God.
Passive aggressive.
Like if
I am
More like
shocked to find out that there are
aggressive.
people proud to be from New Jersey.
Incredibly proud.
You just hear the word Hoboken and you just get pissed off.
Yes. It's a trigger for me.
Yes.
It's enough of New
got hobo
Jersey,
in it.
please.
All right.
Number 5.
Okay, here we go.
The fake laugh.
When do I fake laugh?
Hold on. Constantly through yesterday's episode. Constantly. He'll say he's just being a good teammate. I have 146 years of Cinephobe to prove to the contrary.
What, that he's a good teammate or that he fake laughs?
The good teammate part.
Oh.
First of all, I'm a great teammate. I'm not a good teammate. I'm a great teammate. Great. Right? Like if I'd be Udonis Haslem if I were in the NBA. I'd just be kept getting 1-year deals to stay at the end of the bench because I'm a great teammate. Number 2, I don't fake laugh. I find joy in life. These people are funny, Zach. Zach is basically accusing you guys of being unfunny.
No,
He's saying Amin was fake laughing.
I did receive it that way. He basically
Yeah.
said people were saying things that weren't funny and Amin was just laughing at them. I have a question for you, Amin, because we were just talking about it back here. Where did you go that you still have like the entrance band on your wrist?
Oh, that's my hotel. It's like to get to the pool so I can get like towels and stuff. Yeah.
Interesting.
What's up?
Nothing.
You go down and get towels when the
No, like
people
when
don't
I'm,
bring them to you. You go down and get them yourself.
well, no. Like if I'm going to the beach, I got to grab towels and stuff.
Yeah.
What, you thought I was getting towels for my room?
I thought
Like
you were
that?
just getting towels from the room and be like, you know what? I'm not going to wait for them. I'm going to get them
need more
myself.
I like that idea.
I thought you were at Live last night, and that was that respect.
No.
That's what I thought.
No. Come on.
Live
And
on
then
a-
Chris
on
said
a
he's
Mon-
had that on
on a
yesterday
Monday?
too, and we're like, this guy's
Live on
had
a
this
Monday?
on.
No, you go
Well,
live
no,
on
because
Sundays.
Chris said he's had that on for 2 days, and we're like, where did he go?
I noticed
He's,
it
like,
yesterday.
So proud that
It's the hotel. All right.
I've got another one for you.
What's that?
Eggstaurant. Real or fake?
That's not
real.
a gas station. That's
You
a real
think-
place.
Real?
That's real.
It's real.
Go on,
Well,
Zach.
is that fake laughter from you, Zach?
No, I genuinely like the sad little bell sound. It's great.
See?
Number 4. The man with kids saying that dogs are an inconvenience on travel. There's maybe a dog on any given flight. There are hundreds of kids ruining even TSA pre-check lines.
Did you see what was sat next to me? Shout out to Witty.
Yeah,
On my
medium-sized
flight?
dog.
It was not medium sized.
medium-sized dog,
It was
yeah.
not medium sized.
It wasn't
not,
Tim Allen.
It was the
It
size of
wasn't
Tim Allen. It was doing coke and everything.
Whoa.
Oh, is that
Is.
We're
Too
still
soon?
talking about Tim Allen?
Number 3, excitedly saying, let's rank quarterbacks.
That was exciting.
I have been trying to get him to talk quarterbacks on Mad Dog Sports Radio for months, and he won't do it.
I'm doing a bit, Stu. Yeah. It was part of the bit. I didn't want to actually rank quarterbacks.
He wanted to just get the Stu talking into Michelle Beadle's chest.
Number 2.
Congrats.
Christmas.
It's an upset.
That's on my list of top 5 from the yeah. Oh wow, Amin has the list.
Oh wow. Okay. And then let me get through this number 1 so we can get to his list.
Wait, real or fake? The Mac and Cheese Co.
Oh, that's real.
That's real. That's a food truck somewhere in
That's
Woodwood.
a pop-up.
Right, but is it a brick and mortar?
Oh, brick and mortar or not? Oh, no,
I think it's a
food
pop-up.
truck. That's a food
Food
truck.
truck for me.
It is not a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang it. Number 1, having a top 5 problems with Hard Knocks 3 days after doing a radio show with him Friday night and 2 days after doing a radio show with him Saturday night and not mentioning any of this as we talked Hard Knocks.
Oh man, number 1.
I didn't get it wrong, right? He said these are things that Amin got wrong.
No, that made you horrible.
These are more just personal gripes, really. It sounds like.
Fine. Top 5 personal gripes I had with the meme from yesterday.
Subjective.
How about the egg floozy?
There's no chance.
Bodega.
Not happening.
What's her at? What's her at? I'll race you, I mean.
What?
I'll race you. That's real. Egg floozy?
Egg
That's
floozy is no, it's not brick and mortar.
What?
Fake.
Every time you say brick and mortar, I think you're saying Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
I would have assumed.
Rick and Morty.
I would have assumed Naked Taco might have been fake, just based off of the name.
Well, they have Egg Slut here in LA, and they have one in Vegas. So Egg floozy,
Bacon
you
bitch
could
is right
say
next
that-
door to us.
Bacon bitch.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You
don't like it?
Did you just say there's a place called Egg Slut?
Yes.
Egg Slut. Yeah.
Bloody vegan.
Jesus.
Do they just sort of like lean into the theme of like, we say dirty words all the time?
No,
I'm going
it's-
to insult you with my t-shirt.
It's funny, like that's the only part that's salacious. Everything else is pretty
Yeah.
straightforward.
It's kind of like high class
Yeah.
a little bit
It's
for like
really
a
good.
fast
It's really-
dining situation.
like the
I will
hash
say
browns are.
it leaps out in the Yelp review. If you go to Yelp and you look up breakfast places, like you say, whoa, what's this?
I am literally on a place right now. I had to Google it because I believed it to be fake. On the app, it's called Don't Grill My Cheese. I'm like, that's definitely fake. But then I Googled it, and while it doesn't have a traditional storefront, it's from a parent company that's Don't Grill My Cheese. It's just got a curse. Right in
Oh.
there. They've cleaned it up
Kendrick
for
Lamar.
Uber Eats, so.
Yeah, there's a whole like cottage industry within restaurants that's just we curse and we say mean things.
We curse at brunch.
Yeah.
We're so bad.
Mike, I've got Muffin Can Stop Us on mine.
Ooh,
Muffin
fake.
Can Stop Us.
That is a bodega.
That
a front.
is real.
Whoa! Oh, there's a real photo of a storefront with a sign in front of it.
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
They gave me an address that's real. Hold on.
No, that
I'm on it.
they'll
There
give
you
you an
go. They'll
address
give you an
that's
address,
real.
Yeah, don't fall.
And
for
it's a
the
Tom Thumb gas station.
This is like the entire conceit of The Good Place. In The Good Place, like if you like, there's so many Easter eggs in the background of just pun names of restaurants. Muffin Can Stop Us would have absolutely
It's-
been in The
oh,
Good
No,
Place.
this is a real spot.
BoJack Horseman does that too.
Yeah.
All the establishments in BoJack, like they're all great puns. Anytime there's anything in the background of BoJack with a lot of writing, like when they're trying to plan the Oscars. Remember, he lost the Oscar nominees, so he had to come up with them. That whiteboard is just chock full of just hilarious puns and references. Guys, I got a top 5 bits that I'm sick and tired of.
Go on.
OLI, building an infrastructure at the height of a pandemic. We get it, Dan. We started a company in 2021.
Never do that.
Number 5, across generations.
So this is just you going at Dan. All right, good.
This is just Dan stuff.
I
yeah.
think it's decades also.
Decades and generations.
Cross
yeah.
decades.
Yeah.
Add that for your list tomorrow, Zach. Things that mean messed up.
Number 4.
Yeah, I got it.
The math has changed.
These aren't bits. These are just
these are more crutches.
like verbal ticks.
These are Dan Gripes, is what it sounds like.
Oh, these are show bits. Number 3, eating at the trough.
Again,
Just Dan.
The things Dan says.
that Dan say.
Number 2, Christmas as the number 2.
So you're
I
saying,
second that.
So you're saying we should retire number 2 is Christmas?
Yes.
It's been slowly phased out.
Well, until Zach brought it back, so thanks a lot.
I do it for the fans. Sorry.
Number 1, they're coming for everything.
Coming for so-and-so stuff.
They're coming for everything. Not for so-and-so stuff anymore. They're coming for everything now. Everything. They are.
That's too far.
Oh, no.
Thought you were going to say word combos.
Hey, man.
I'm still a fan of word combos.
That's top 5 best.
Come on in.
What's up, Dano?
Danny's like,
It's awkward now that you did all the gripes.
Danny's like in
and
character.
everything there.
The texting, like that is like when you
That was
have
great. That was great.
The arms on the head too is good.
Yeah, the arms of the head's good.
We should do what?
I say you should do Dan dancing when music plays. He's like this.
Oh, yeah. he does the hat hold there. Oh, man. Guys, I got to tell you. We're not rolling, right?
No.
Okay. The liquid IV. I kind of feel better than I did earlier this morning. I didn't feel bad this morning.
Yeah.
But now I feel really good. Minus the part where it made me have uncontrollable shit come out.
Because it flushed you out.
Like, I don't know if that's great marketing for them, but.
Well, it's a detox, though.
You know what did it for me last week? I went
What was
to
that
Wiener
sound?
Schnitzel for the first time in a really long time, and it cleaned me out.
There's nothing like
You
a
were
good
saying a wiener cleaned you out?
It sure did.
Dan.
Not just one, 2 of them, Dano.
Who gave him the green light on the microphone?
There's nothing like a good bug to lose some weight. You know what I mean?
Oh man, fantastic.
Love a good case of diarrhea or
Zach,
like
did you
something
lose-
where you're not eating and you drop like 5 pounds.
You lose weight from COVID?
Yeah, I had it for 10 days. I lost like 9 pounds. It was great.
That's it?
That's what's different.
It's not
gained
the
it back
hair
in
or the
Vegas,
skin
though.
at all.
I want to build a top 5 around this pain that I suffered over the weekend that it's not really talked about. You know, you have your classics like toe subbing or banging your knee against a table. But there was a pain that I suffered over the weekend that I think only really men know. Oh, no. And that is when you're near the end of your deodorant. When you're near the end of your deodorant and it breaks off and all of a sudden you have just deodorized your underarms with the plastic shell on the outside.
Oh my God.
And you just give it a good
But women
scrape.
have armpits.
No, but their deodorant is a little different. They don't have the same type of sticks. They generally go
They don't?
roll-on or gel.
They don't have like.
Men mainly have a different type of deodorant.
I like how you have one handy, by the way.
Yeah, do you just bring it with you?
You don't have a work deodorant?
It's a prop.
No.
No, it's a clutch. It's a
used
clutch
that
device.
deodorant.
Yeah, the work deodorant. You never left your house, forget your deodorant, and been like,
No.
damn, I wish I had some work deodorant.
I have a very
First thing I do.
specific routine in the morning, like the way I shower, the way I like lotion. Like
I like to think I have a specific routine, but I also suffer from anxiety, and sometimes my first application isn't enough, so you got to reapply.
Oh,
So
you
I
need
got
a
my
re-app.
Got my work deodorant, but there are some times that I just flatly forget. You know, you're on your phone and stuff like that. You should always have a work deodorant, guys. But I digress. The point is, like, have you ever
Scraped
done
it?
that?
No.
Dude, I did that on Saturday. I thought I took a chunk with me.
Did you not look at it, or were you like, "There's a little bit left"?
No,
there
there was a lot left, but it's humid in South Florida. And if you leave the house and you got a smart AC and it turns off, it's probably not as hard as you thought it would be.
This whole story was to let us know that his AC is smart,
No, it's
I'd
I hate
rather,
the smart. I hate the smart AC.
like a dumb AC.
Oh, it's terrible.
I want the dumb
terrible.
AC. Well, because like
You could just change it.
Google owns. Yeah, I try. I'm telling you. Then,
smart.
then all of
Too
a sudden,
smart.
Google just Google just like here have Airwave. I'm like, what is Airwave? I've never set Airwave.
What's Airwave?
where it just circulates the air that's already in there, as opposed to grabbing some new.
Oh, get out of here with that. No.
Well, that's also a data situation, isn't it?
Well, it's very invasive. Google's in charge of Nest. They're getting all the data from it. They're also controlling in the summer months. They're more aggressive with shutting off your AC. And you can make the environmentalist argument like, well, that's great. They're being smart. And it is to a degree, but it's also like, wait a second. If I want to burn down this big blue orb, I'll do it on my own terms.
Mike, do you have solar panels?
I do not. My neighbor does.
I think I'm going to get solar panels on my house.
It's a great move.
Don't fall for the
permanent renter over here telling me.
I dated someone once who sold solar panels, and
Zach,
it seemed like a great idea.
Let me put the national audience on.
Most solar panel salespeople, it's like a phishing scam.
This dude Zach, look, if anyone was going to fall for a phishing scam,
how many times do you get called about the solar panels here in South Florida? We get that all the time.
I never answer the phone if I don't have the number saved.
Let me tell you guys something. This dude has lived the most interesting life, right? Like, but not interesting like in a cool way. Interesting like what? Right? So dated a solar panel salesperson, which this is a new one for me. Dated a stand-up.
You met her.
Did I?
Didn't you?
Welcome to Cinephobe. Dated a stand-up comedian.
Couple of them.
Worked at Oakley. At the Oakley store.
That's that can't be number 3.
That's
awesome.
Can't be the Oakley thing is canon at this point.
How about worked at the courthouse?
That's not canon.
How hard is it, Zach, to change your name legally? You worked at a courthouse.
It's just a process of filling out papers, going to the court, getting it officially recorded. But it's not just like I can do it this afternoon.
Well, no, because the thing is like earlier in the show, Witty was saying that he wanted to change his name to Christopher Kisses Wittyngham, but wasn't going to do it because it was a little bit of a process. So we're like trying to say like it's not really that bad because it's not a middle name.
It's a lot of admin.
It's a bit of a to do, but it's not a whole to do.
Okay.
Like, is it a to do that I need? It's not like I need this for something.
No.
I just like it.
Well, everyone needs a name.
I mean, I have a name,
not a middle one,
but I don't need it. I take like a certain pride in leaving that field blank whenever like you're filling it out like for an airline or something. But
what if you could put kisses in there instead?
Exactly.
But again, it's not worth it to do.
Zach, why did Ethan have Sherwood Strauss in his name, and then why did he drop it?
He had it in his name to sound smart. Like that's my belief is that he wanted to like, I think you have to have 3 names to work at Slate. And didn't he work at Slate?
Yeah, he wrote at Slate.
Yeah. So he took it out. I don't know why he took it out. This was news to me that he took it out recently. I think he just got sick of having that in there and then probably couldn't have it for the book, right?
I bullied him on having it. I believe he took it out because I bullied him into taking it out because it's just such a pretentious middle name, Sherwood.
Sherwood.
Like if his name was Ethan Jack Strauss, I'm like, okay, EJ Strauss.
Sure wouldn't have it in there.
No!
Oh, come on now. No.
Tell you
racist.
Hey, man, 2 Americas.
It's not racist. It was just confirmation bias because I was also thinking of a Sherwood pun and he just beat me to it.
Oh, okay. So he's a winner then.
Yeah, and I believe myself to be funny. So kudos.
Mike's hilarious.
So a lot of news has been made about Sylvia Fowles in the WNBA retiring. And, you know, great player, one of the greatest players ever, and all this stuff. I'm like, okay. And then today I learned something, ironically, from the Miami Herald. That she's retiring to become a mortician. Do you guys know this?
No.
She's retiring to become a mortician. And obviously my first question is, how does one get into being a mortician or wanting to be a mortician? And the op-ed in the Herald says, she said in an interview with ESPN.com that her fascination with death and funeral homes dates to her grandmother Dorothy's funeral, which she attended when she was 5. Not long thereafter, she was lining up stuffed animals in rows in her bedroom and playing funeral while other kids were playing school.
Huh.
From 3 years ago, it says here that she was working on her mortuary degree while in the WNBA. So 3 years ago, she was working towards this.
She's spent the past 7 years studying mortuary science. Isn't that like, shouldn't that have been a bigger story across the WNBA? Not that she's retiring, that she's retiring to be a mortician?
Well, I said earlier that we are as a culture obsessed with death, right? There are lots of things about us that all the time we just think about how can we survive? How can we avoid death? The finality of death is terrifying. And it does bizarre things to us. So I can understand why people would develop an unhealthy obsession with like kind of being around the dead or whatever. And perhaps Sylvia is one of these people. It's not crazy.
I never thought about why anyone would want to be an undertaker, right? It's always kind of like a family business or something like that. You never hear about someone, I didn't even know they went to school for it, to be honest with you.
Well, you're always at WrestleMania.
Wow. I mean, come on, man. Come on.
That was for pander. I tried to pander to Mike there.
Okay.
Didn't work.
He'll have
I was thinking of a witty way to invoke it. Hadn't landed on it yet, but that, sir, was not it.
Paul Bearer.
Paul Bearer.
I'm talking about Paul Bearer.
Yeah, one of the great play on names.
Yeah.
When they put him in a cement mix, or like when they dumped cement on his head, that was I was actually terrified by that.
Yeah, I thought he was dead.
I
had to bury live matches too.
No,
man.
really,
Oh my
like,
God.
Magic. I still don't know how they did that cement mixer thing. I read later that there were portions that were pre-taped. It's Hollywood
I remember
magic.
seeing a photo the next morning on the WWE. I was really into WWE in this period. And I remember seeing a photo on the website the next morning going, oh my God, they just poured cement on this guy and he's dead now. And they're celebrating it on the main page of WWE.com. This is very grim. What am I into? At a real existential moment.
You remember when Vince McMahon went in that limo and they exploded and then they just like eradicated that storyline from existence like it never happened?
Well, because I think like the Chris Benoit thing, it was very poorly received.
Yes.
And according to an interview from Triple H that he did with Howard Stern several years ago, a former president called Triple H wondering if Vince McMahon was actually dead.
Wow, Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter was like totally thrown by it. Yeah.
I saw their A&E, I guess, has like a...
They have like a WWE block now.
Yeah. And so one of the things they have is Edge versus John Cena in this rivalry. And they're going to examine the
You missed
rivalry.
that whole thing.
I didn't know about any of it, but all I knew is I saw the little trailer and I was like, that's the guy from Money Plane.
He is awful in that movie. I mean,
That movie was so confusing, right? Because they hired Edge, and he's just flying the plane the entire. He's just sitting. He's not in any of the action scenes.
Yeah, he's if I'm not mistaken, he was like one of the top billed people, right?
He was a top billed guy.
The top billed, yeah.
Edge Adam Copeland or Adam Edge Copeland. Which one?
I think it's Adam Edge Copeland.
Yeah.
Either way, he was sitting down for the entire movie, and I still don't understand the Thomas Jane thing. It was weird.
Thomas Jane. Who's
Thomas
Jane?
Jane?
The Punisher.
No, I know who Thomas Jane
But
is.
he was
in the movie.
Like he went to go
was
get
at the
something
end.
at the house.
Oh, with the artwork, right? He shows up at Denise.
The Rumble.
Is it Denise?
Denise
Richards.
Yeah, they did set up a sequel, right? It was a bit of a cliffhanger.
If you don't know what we're talking about, there's this movie called Money Plane, and it starred this wrestler Edge and Denise Richards and Thomas Jane and Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer.
And it was about like this high stakes gambling operation that happens on a plane.
Yeah.
And you got to get an invite and you fly around or whatever. And they're trying to pull off a heist where they rob this plane of the millions and millions and millions of euros and dollars that's on it. We did it on Cinephobe. Zach, what episode was that?
That's a great question.
Yes.
Let me...
That's his
episode
like
63.
20 episodes against.
Episode 63?
63, wow.
63.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's a long time ago. So the movie ends with like this mysterious kind of like Thomas Jane shows up to Denise Richards' house and he's got this painting that's like a Picasso that's worth $20 million. And we're supposed to believe that there's a Money Plane 2 coming, but it never happens.
Well, I think it's going to happen if they can re-rent the apartment that they shot the plane scene in, because it is the worst production you've ever seen. But that movie was a file because Kelsey Grammer is amazing in it. He's just named The Rumble.
So, he's been playing a lot of bad guys lately, hasn't he?
Ass off.
Yeah. Ass off completely.
It's the role he was meant to play, man.
The bad guy?
Yeah, like the sophisticated bad guy. Should have been.
He's got the voice for it.
Yeah, he does. He delivers with great gravitas. Not good.
Right. Yeah.
Not a good Kelsey.
Jesus.
Gabriel Cash.
Oh, God.
Oh, here we go.
Zach.
You put that on your list for tired bits.
Hey, hold on. Wait a second.
Hey.
Never. Don't you dare.
All right, then.
Zach, the latest from Shams Charania of The Athletic, your colleague over there, is that the Memphis Grizzlies have discussed an interest in trading for Brooklyn Nets superstar Kevin Durant, and that they want to make it a pick-heavy asset package, right? Lots of first-round picks, including a 2024 first-rounder from the Warriors that they acquired. At this point, this is just teams doing the fantasy football like terrible trades, right?
Because before you answer, Zach, I do want to point something out. I saw SB Nation's Ricky O'Donnell did like an accounting of this, and so team by team, based off reporting, they figured out. So the Grizzlies won't include Desmond Bane or Jaren Jackson. The Pelicans are unwilling to include Brandon Ingram and Kevin Durant trades. The Raptors won't include Scotty Barnes. The Celtics won't include Marcus Smart. The Heat can't offer Bam Adebayo. The Suns are reportedly unwilling to include all of their draft picks for Kevin Durant. It's a bunch of teams lowballing Brooklyn for Kevin Durant. And Zach, I guess the question I ask you is, why is that happening? Because to us, the basketball consumer, it would seem very strange that this generational superstar is available on a 4-year contract, and teams are unwilling, or at least publicly posturing that they're not willing to part with everything. And it's been nearly 2 months, and it doesn't seem like we're that much closer to a trade.
Well, the analogy I would use is you go to a Bugatti dealership, right? Something we all do. You go to a Bugatti dealership and you check out the sticker price, and you're not going to say, you know what, I'll give you exactly what you want for it. You're going to try to haggle a little bit. You're going to say, you know what about $50,000 off the sticker price? What about $40,000 off? And so the thing with the negotiating with these teams is it's hilarious that Memphis would call in and say, no Jaren Jackson Jr., no Desmond Bane. Like, we're not doing that, right? Obviously, no Ja Morant. We'll give you some picks. We'll give you a couple of the young guys we have, but we're not giving you anything of significance. The weird part about that is no other team has stepped up and said, bleep this. We're going to get Kevin Durant.
Right.
We don't want to let this other team come in with an okay offer if we can best that. That's the thing about the Donovan Mitchell situation is everyone who gets involved right now knows they really can't beat the Knicks offer, because the Knicks can put up the most draft picks and they can put up a couple of really good young players or really nice young players that Utah would want. And so, yeah, Washington's interested, Charlotte's interested in Donovan Mitchell, but no one can come with the trade package. In the Durant situation, anybody can beat what's been out there so far. The idea that Marcus Smart wouldn't be included in a Boston deal is hilarious to me. The idea that Phoenix wouldn't give up all these draft picks in order to do it is hilarious. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And I feel like it's not going to be until this trade is about to happen that other teams get serious in the negotiating.
It's wild to me that some of these holdouts are just bizarre. Do you want to win or not? Particularly if you're a team with a track record of abject failure. What you're going to hold on to all these picks and do what? Draft another Jalen Jones, right? Like, I mean, what are we talking about here, right? What are you holding on for?
Right.
And again, it's for Durant, someone who's unequivocally one of the 3 best basketball playing human beings on the planet. I don't understand it. Even like something like Desmond Bane. Like, Desmond Bane's a nice player. He's a good player. But I'm sorry, there's a Desmond Bane like every year in the draft. You got to find them, you got to develop them, but they're out there.
Yeah.
You got a chance to go get Durant, and you're hesitant because of maybe your 4th best player at the time? I don't get it. The Donovan Mitchell one is more interesting to me because there's an argument that he's not worth it.
Right.
Right? That the Knicks are right to be kind of not reticent, but kind of being a little judicious in their dealing. Because Donovan Mitchell, again, a very good player, but not necessarily, I think, a dynamic franchise-changing talent, particularly for a team in the Knicks that isn't very well constructed to take advantage of a Donovan Mitchell.
Is the market for Kevin Durant also a market correction? All these teams are banding together, knowing what the price was set at with Rudy Gobert, saying that that's just astronomical and unsustainable, and we're not going to help facilitate this deal. That was an earlier report that the Nets were struggling to find a third team because nobody wanted to help the Nets make this deal. Because it's one thing entirely if you can get 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert, who wanted to be in Utah, has proven he's a rare, air quotes, superstar that wants to stay in one of these markets.
It's a lot of
right?
air.
It's a lot of air, but you get what I'm saying. All-star player. He is a player of repute.
Yes.
Right?
Airwave.
It's one thing if that's what it's going to take to get somebody that actually wants to be in his place. It's another thing entirely if it's going to be for Kevin Durant, because it's not a true comp. Kevin Durant is he's making a mess of stuff. He does not want to be there.
Right.
Why is the trade package Rudy Gobert when Rudy Gobert wanted to be in Utah?
See, I think that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the Nets are operating from a position of not weakness, but a compromised position. You say, oh, are these teams colluding to say, hey, enough is enough? No, it's just they're in a bad spot. They're desperate. Okay, now that we can bend them over the barrel and show them the 50 states. Versus for Rudy Gobert, there was no sense of urgency really for Utah in the sense that, oh, you got to do something because your house is falling apart. We knew.
But also part of the Gobert thing was Minnesota needing to not be Minnesota anymore, right? Like they were kind of over a barrel to be shown the 50 states in a way where, like, yes, you can come get this guy, but we can extract all these draft picks out of you because even if the Timberwolves win 50 games for the next 4 years, right? 50 games each season, and they're out in the second round and never get past the second round, that would be the greatest stretch in Timberwolves history by far.
The most successful.
By far.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there was a market correction in that of like, hey, Timberwolves, you don't want to be the Timberwolves anymore? Okay, this is what it's going to take. And I really think that, I think teams don't really care about draft picks the way they did 8 to 10 years ago. Like, it's not like this incredible, holy grail of an asset that it used to be. But in order to get Kevin Durant, you should have to give up more than you have with Rudy Gobert or Donovan Mitchell.
We have breaking news. Breaking news from Shams Charania. Steve Nash, Joe Tsai, and Sean Marks met with Kevin Durant and Rich Kleiman in Los Angeles on Monday and have decided to move forward with partnership, Nets say.
So here's a statement from the Brooklyn Nets. The following statement has been released by General Manager Sean Marks. Steve Nash and I, together with Joe Tsai and Clara Wu Tsai, met with Kevin Durant and Rich Kleiman in Los Angeles yesterday. We have agreed to move forward with our partnership. We're focusing on basketball with one collective goal in mind: build a lasting franchise to bring a championship to Brooklyn.
It's because UD signed.
Oh, wow. Look, and it's co-branded Nets and the boardroom.
I hate this. Stop trying to make the boardroom happen. Just stop, okay? It's not LeBron saying, it's not the barbershop, it's not uninterrupted.
The whole point of going to New York, though, was to build that out.
Does this mean that now, this is going to be, Joe Tsai is going to be on the Etceteras? Is that the podcast that Kevin Durant does?
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to have a whole series of things now?
Will he then say something controversial that'll get him fined $500,000?
Kind of wild that this statement is framed as coming from Sean Marks and not from Joe Tsai. In theory, wouldn't the owner, if the owner's in the meeting, the owner releases a statement. I presume they at least want to signal some statement of intent here that we're not kowtowing to the reported demands that Sean Marks and Steve Nash be fired in order for KD to continue with the Brooklyn Nets. And there's some sort of statement that Sean Marks is still a key part of this.
So after all that, nothing. Now we can move forward with the Donovan Mitchell stuff.
Well, and I mean,
we can move forward with the Kyrie stuff.
Do you really think that the Kevin Durant thing is resolved now? If come the trade deadline, they're 5 games over 500 and the season's been a general disappointment.
I do believe it. At least for now.
I don't think
the trade deadline, I don't know what Kyrie's going to do next. I have to always keep that possibility.
I also like to point out, because these things don't happen in a vacuum. The statement comes out one day after what? Udonis Haslem announces at his camp that he's coming back for a 20th season.
You can't possibly link these two things.
I'm looking right in your forehead right now.
Do not tell me to open up my third eye.
Open that third eye wide open, baby.
You know what this is, though? This is because Amin got the LeBron extension wrong.
I didn't get
this.
What are you guys talking about?
So how about this? The Heat knew that the Durant sweepstakes was over, that he was going to stay. And then they told Udonis, all right, you can move forward with your...
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's not the other way. You got the tail wagging the dog.
What?
You got the tail wagging the dog. The dog wags the tail.
No, the league was waiting.
I don't think a tail. That's a big tail to wag a dog. What size dog? The dog that was on Amin's flight?
That's a big dog.
Never heard the term. Wag the dog.
Wag the dog.
It's a movie.
It's a movie, right?
It's a
Robert De
term.
Niro, right?
Like, you don't have the tail wagging the dog. The dog wags the tail. The Heat gave Udonis the all clear. Okay, you can go ahead and announce it because Durant's not leaving.
Okay. I don't know what point you're trying to make right now.
That you're telling him to open up his third eye, and you're putting all the responsibility on Udonis's decision when it was like done in concert. Like the Heat's like, okay.
In concert, that was my whole point. Live. Madison Square Garden.
When something's done in concert, is there an opener, or is it they're both playing at the same time? I don't really understand that.
Headliner, baby.
I think the opener was paying Caleb Martin more money than he ever dreamed of.
Good for him. By the way, Caleb Martin still a better value than what the Lakers spent their taxpayer mid-level on.
Can we?
I mean, we were doing the accounting the other day.
Yes.
The second contracts that the Heat have given out on their developed players, has a single one of them worked out? You think of like Hassan Whiteside, not really working out. Duncan Robinson, not really working out. Even around the league, like Derek Jones Jr.
That one worked out.
He worked out.
For Portland?
Yeah.
Portland, who then immediately traded him?
He was Chicago. He played well in Chicago.
Okay. I will not pretend to know that. But I feel like some of these guys that the Heat draft and develop, like I wonder if they're like 15-year careers on for these guys, or it's just sort of like flash in the pan, early career stuff.
They didn't draft Caleb Martin. They did develop him to a degree. Right. The Caleb Martin's kind of like an outlier. Like they signed him. He left Charlotte.
But he's talking about like the diamonds in the rough, where they find guys, they polish them up, whatever. But Witty, I would say they're all like NBA players. That's for sure. It's not like they flame out and they're out of the league.
But they're almost all overpays.
But I would argue that's
Bam. But you can't do that with
there's a lottery pick. Yeah. No, I would argue that's the case of almost every player who's not either an all-star or a minimum player in the NBA. They're all guys that are just waiting to get overpaid. Like the only people,
and I'm sure that feeling will only grow as the salary cap goes up with the new TV deal.
I'm just saying,
what used to be a $10 million player will eventually be like a $23 million.
He's also
player.
been around for a very long time, but Udonis Haslem is a testament to the second contract.
There are three types of players in the league to me that are worth it. Right, number one is a superstar because the max number is always lower than what their actual impact is. Number two is a rookie scale guy, because a lot of times they are outperforming what they're getting paid. Number three, minimum.
So those are the only everything else where you're giving
everything else is
overvalued.
It's probably overvalued, right? If it's not overvalued, it's a matter of time. So if I got a deal on a guy, by the time his contract's up, it's about to get ugly.
I just sort of like a player like Gary Payton Jr., for instance.
Yeah.
Like just got some money.
Yeah.
Is he now an overvalued player?
I think so.
Yeah.
Like I think he was better than what he was. So what he was paid as a Warrior was well below his impact for sure. Right. But the moment you pay him what he's worth, he ceases to be worth that, because the whole point of the value was for minimum, I'm getting this, and this.
But like, it's a finals player though. Like Gary Payton Jr. has value in the finals. And like, I just feel like in the NBA, there's such a small number of those guys. That can survive in a major playoff series and be one of the 7 guys that merit minutes.
Sure, but the number is out of whack now. Like for what you're paying him, you need a lot more than what he brings.
Here's where I would push back on what Amin's saying is I think we tend to think like a player is just what they are when they sign that deal. You can easily play to justify that contract or exceed that contract. But based on what he is now, sure, Gary Payton is probably an overpay. But I don't think it takes much to outplay that contract. Like, I think that's pretty easy.
Some people do. But by and large, for the most part, guys are paid more than what they're actually worth.
Zach, can I ask you a question? So now that we have this statement, the Brooklyn Nets are proceeding. Without the vaccine issues in play, if Brooklyn has a semi-ish normal season, do you go right back to making them contenders again?
No, because I think they have too much to prove. Like, I think they would have to show that these guys are going to play in the postseason, right? Like, we still don't know what we're going to get out of Ben Simmons. If you get the Ben Simmons from Philadelphia, yeah, I'm in. I know all the issues with him, but that's still a really good basketball player and the type of player they need there. But COVID aside, vaccines aside, what else could keep Kyrie Irving from going to work? Like, why are you just going to assume that now he's locked in because it's a contract year? I just don't buy that at all.
I just went to check the odds on DraftKings Sportsbook on what Brooklyn is as a favorite now or whatever. They've been pulled down. We're recording this as the news came in, so you can't even bet on Brooklyn. But I kind of imagine that they're going to be made favorites to win the East. I know the Ben Simmons thing. I think even without Ben Simmons, they could be obviously a top 5 seed in the East.
They added T.J. Warren. They added Royce O'Neal. I mean, this is a good team. And then
they also just tried to fire the coach and the GM. That's going to have carryover. You can say hey, we're proceeding ahead. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, there was a coup attempted.
Yeah,
and we're just all going to carry on as if nothing happened. But I mean, doesn't that shit happen all the time? Not this specifically. Not this specifically, but you carry on and do your business, even though there's obvious personal frostiness around.
Yes, but this isn't personal frostiness. This is the ice. This is the ice age. What killed the dinosaurs? The ice age.
There it is.
Want to take football right here? Baker Mayfield talk?
I don't know. I feel like there's more here.
There's more meat on this bone?
Yeah. Should we wait to see if there's any more additional reporting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
I actually think that wouldn't this open up make a trade more likely now? Now the pressure's off. You can kind of deal.
Guys, it's cool. We're not trading him. He's happy now.
Wait a second. I wanted to trade for Kevin Durant. Well, what do you got?
Bruh, the Lids by my house got 50% off Kevin Durant shit since they thought he was gonna get traded.
You better go down
I'm about to clean their ass out
right now.
Run over there now.
The plan: float fake Kevin Durant trade rumors to get discounts on the jerseys. Then buy all the jerseys and resell them for full price.
Boom.
Real Nathan for you.
Go
situation.
Juju. Leave the Zoom now.
I definitely want to talk.
Get that stuff, Juju.
Zach, we definitely have to talk the rehearsal.
Oh, absolutely. I'm in.
Also, Chris, see that video of what that guy did with the hot dog at the Yankees game?
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
Wait, you're on the fence?
Yeah. I mean, he knows what he's doing. You don't do that unless you know someone's videoing you. Come on.
Oh, you're on the fence on the harassment.
Look at me, Louis.
I thought you were on the fence on you know what?
If that was there for me, I would take I'd sip a beer. I would take a sip of the beer.
Good of death?
I'd have to see who did the hot dog. I don't know what's being.
Well, he did it himself. You could see him kind of tunneling through
use
it.
a straw.
If someone just walked up to me with a beer and the hot dog in it, and I didn't see it get done, I'd be get that away from me. But if I see it's done, no funny business, I'll take a sip.
As a grid of death punishment, you would do that. Where
that would be an easy one to select. That would not be stressing that one.
You got to drink the whole beer through it.
But that's easy. That's not why.
Are you imagining it's a nice hot dog flavored beer?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a little curious. I don't even love hot
dogs.
Just
to down a beer, but you're just drinking a beer that has some hot dog flavor into it. It's not like eating an onion raw like it's an apple. That's worse.
Tony's mad at me right now. You got to mic him. Yes, I said it and I'll repeat it. I don't love hot dogs.
Why?
If I'm at a barbecue, hamburgers, hot dogs, I'm always going to go
cookout, not a barbecue. Barbecue's different.
I'm always going to go burger. I might I'm not saying I
have
a hot dog.
1-1.
Why would you go both? Yeah, you go 1-1.
Yeah, you got to go 1-1.
Maybe 2-2.
I might go 1-1 and then I'll eat.
That's my guy.
I'll eat the entire burger and I'll eat half the hot dog. Yeah, no.
Half the hot
I
dog.
don't love a hot dog.
With you.
I don't love a hot
old
dog.
Are you?
I don't love a hot dog.
Does your kid eat the whole hot dog? Or does she eat half the hot dog?
My daughter loves hot dogs. So like, I'm not
Your kid
I'm
eats the
not
whole hot dog.
anti-hot dog. Am I
No,
not
it
allowed?
feels like you're anti-hot
I'm not
dog.
allowed to just like hot dogs.
Not get half of one.
I got to be in the mood for a hot dog. Like sometimes if
Yeah,
I go to a
the mood is
ballpark,
hot dogs are there.
yeah, nah.
Exactly.
What do you guys put
I don't
on a
like
hot dog?
shit. Like I got to be at a ballpark for a good hot dog. Like don't give me one of these crappy like high school game concession stand
No,
hot
but
dogs.
those are shitty. I'm talking about
like,
real legit,
boiled.
a nice legit glizzy.
Right on the grill.
Grill
Flame
marks
broiled,
on.
I
got
like
the grill
I like
marks
them.
on.
I like them burnt though. Like if I see a bunch of hot dogs, I want it like the most char on it. Like I don't
blowtorch to your meat.
I don't want to feel like it's undercooked.
Yo,
at all.
you have to. You have to.
Guys, you're gonna think this is crazy. So I get this hot dog like every once in a while from this place called Pincho down here. It's called a Pincho dog.
It's great, actually.
It has
but-
pineapple on it.
Yeah, it's so good.
Delish.
I don't mind
Sounds
that.
terrible.
I don't mind that at all.
No,
Yeah.
but it's not like a beef frank. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what flavor it is, but it's not like your typical hot dog. But it's like great because it has pineapple. It has like the little like
papitas,
like little papitas on
Yeah.
it, and then there's like a sauce that's on it. I don't put ketchup. I don't put mustard. I don't put anything
Well, it has
on
its
it.
own sauce, so you
it
don't
has
put
a
anything
sauce on it.
yeah.
You don't need to do anything to it. Just enjoy it.
So, Tony, last week, do you remember I was trying to remember the word that George Sedano said on air?
Yes.
And I thought it was pinga, but it's not.
Okay.
It's pinche.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's like a Mexican thing.
Yeah, but you can't say that?
It's really bad.
Really
Yeah,
bad?
yeah. No, it is. It is.
In Mexican slang, it's really
In
bad.
Mexican
Yeah,
slang,
it's really bad.
Yeah.
But like
Do we need to
here,
bleep that now? Or
no.
I'm
I
on
mean,
a
but
podcast. But
No,
like,
it's not that
Did you
bad.
say it on terrestrial
Well, I mean, we
radio?
said
Yes.
pinga.
Yeah, no, you
Pinga's
can't.
really bad.
No, you can't say that on terrestrial radio.
Pinche.
he said it.
Yeah.
ESPN LA.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It-
In
like,
a
especially
community
can't say
with more than 1 million Mexican Americans, I'd probably guess.
Yeah. And he was like, "What?
Yeah.
What's the problem?" Like, you can't say that, George. And like,
Yeah.
And you were the one telling him?
yes.
The internet says that it's just like what when we're saying like this effing thing.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say effing.
Yeah, you can't say that on
But like the way you
radio.
guys are making it seem like it's the C word. Like you can't say the F word, but it's not like it's
What's C word?
you guys were like,
that-
if you say this word in Mexico, they'll
Wait, what word?
No, it's more that like you can't say that on the radio because you will
Yeah.
incur an FCC
Okay.
fine.
I thought
Because
the way you guys
people
were talking,
actually know
yeah.
and can hear it.
You guys were
no,
like,
no. It's not like
No, I'm
the
not saying
N-word
yeah,
or anything like
he's not.
that. It's just it's
to
a,
be clear,
it's a word you can't say on the radio.
George Sedano did not say the N word.
No.
I don't want to get back
Yeah.
to him. George's whole career ends.
So from working at Univision, I learned some Mexican slang, and I asked the guys like, "Hey, if I wanted to use one of these on air," they'd be like, "No, don't do it." But you learn a few things. By the way,
you were trying to.
What?
Yeah, you wanted to like
situation?
discreetly curse.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
while
yeah,
you're
because,
game?
no,
the
because
point
like
there?
there's sort of like there's like an in between territory. I honestly would have thought until I asked them, like I would have thought that pinche would have like kind of one of those things.
What does it mean for you guys here? Like
It's
as
just sort of
You
like
guys.
like
Like,
damn, like damn.
What do you mean by you
isn't it?
guys?
It's, there's just something
What
specific
is
to Mexican
pinche,
slang.
like
Pinche means like F, like again,
no,
it's,
I know.
it's almost
Guys.
like an adjective.
Guys.
but
Does it look
here,
like I know?
Oh,
Okay.
here, no,
Like-
nothing.
like
Chris-
Pinche doesn't mean anything,
Guys,
in
Chris-
Cuban
well,
language.
Okay, Chris
Billy?
Cody found a list of the 11 Mexican slang words that you shouldn't say. What? No, that's not what this list is.
says that only locals.
Yeah, but that
That's
made it
only
seem
locals
like
know?
it was bad
Yeah.
words.
Number one, pendeo.
Oh, can't say that.
you can't say
Can't say
There's
that.
a broad spectrum of Hispanic languages.
But now it's more like an idiot, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's
I thought it was a pube.
it is a pube. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was like pube hair.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dan just
that's more
rustled.
Show Dan.
Dan just rustled.
Number two, Gwe.
Oh,
yeah, that's very Mexican.
So like
That's-
the one
yeah.
that I learned the most is no mames way.
You can't say
that's
that.
what you wanted
George
to
told me
slip
That's what I
in.
wanted
personally
to
that you
say,
can't
yeah.
say
That's
that.
what you wanted to slip into a soccer
yeah.
broadcast.
Where's the fanfare?
Yeah.
Where's the
Like a bad
fanfare?
call by the ref, and what do you say to the ref?
Go, man.
When we were in LA for the Super Bowl, George was saying like I had to change my language because I would say no mames, but like you can't say that because it means like don't
Yeah,
Oh, mames.
mames is like sucking.
yeah, like don't
Yeah.
don't suck me off essentially.
Yeah.
That's what it means. It's A. Billy, it's A, yo.
It's the opposite of what you want to say.
What's number 3?
Terrified of this game. 4. I'll go to 4. Cabron.
Oh, cabron's good. I like cabron.
Yeah, cabron's good.
Cabron's like asshole. Like you're an asshole.
Can I say number 5?
Yeah, that's fine.
Buena o nada. No, oh, my bad. Buena onda.
That's not
I never heard that.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I think it's like what's up, like good deal, like good day.
Cabron.
Yeah, cabron's good.
I don't know what it means.
No, buena onda is like good energy, I think.
Really?
Number 6, la neta. I hope that's.
I don't know what
I don't know what that is.
It means really. It's like saying really the truth.
Is it possible that Chris is reading these incorrect?
Number 7 was the Jorge word.
You don't say
Pinche.
Crudo. Fresa.
That's a strawberry.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It means your boss is really stuck up.
What?
I don't know.
Wait.
Mi jefa es muy fuesa.
No, you mean freca.
Freca.
No, but
it's fresa. It's fresa.
I told you guys, man.
A huevo.
Muy fresa.
Whoa. Hey.
What's that?
Hey, yo.
Means you're feeling lazy. Tengo mucho huevo.
Oh, 11's fine.
God, Jesus.
Tengo mucha.
No, 11's good. Read 11.
All right. Oh, God. Oh, no.
That one's fine.
I don't want to talk about someone's mom.
No, that's fine. That one's fine.
Oh my.
Chinga tu madre.
Context clues.
You know what? By the
means
Go fuck your mother.
yeah.
That, by the way, was the one that I wanted to use because Chicharito, the famous Mexican player, not chinga su madre, but no. So chingada or like chingadas is like sort of things that you enjoy. So there's a famous
Spanish is
Mexican
a very
player,
vulgar language, by the way. Just letting you guys know. I'm sorry.
who is one of like he's like the biggest star probably in the MLS right now. Biggest Mexican national team player probably of all time. Yeah. So he did an interview where he was like, I'm trying to like manifest positivity. So he was like, imaginamos cosas chingadas.
Yeah.
And so
I like that.
And so I wanted to say, can I say if he scores a goal, like this is one of the cosas chingadas that he was, looking forward to? Like, no, you can't say that.
Yeah.
It would have been, I would have really enjoyed it. I think it would have been a good goal call, but
I really wanted
I was
to
talked
go.
down.
Chicharito, go! Chinga tu madre! Go!
Witty, can you recreate what this would be?
No.
Great question.
What?
Like
Saying,
the goal call.
Like what the call
Like what
would
the call would be, yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have just repeated the line. Like, imaginamos cosas
Well, do
chingadas.
it.
But like, give us a call. The
Yeah,
call.
yeah,
Don't say
give us a
it.
call.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on.
Give us the call.
Vamos, cabrón.
I mean, I don't know. I don't like
Ingele.
faking goal calls.
Scorpio is ready.
You want me to score a goal?
Yeah. Go score a goal in the green room, and then I'll call it.
I'll do it.
I'm real sick of manifesting.
You're
Let me
just
tell you.
staring at me.
We're waiting.
We are waiting on you. We're waiting for you to manifest this goal
Yeah,
call.
man, hurry up.
I'll-
Let's go, man. Come on.
I'm doing it.
No?
That's it.
It's faking goal call. It's just so cheesy. isn't
Okay,
it?
do you want me to? I will
No,
reenact.
Chris is going right now to go do it.
Chris, go score a goal.
Representation.
Amin will hurt himself if he does it.
It's true. Zach, we were talking earlier about warming up before you play basketball. How long is your warm up, your stretch?
I might give it a couple of grab the ankle a little bit once or twice, but I don't really stretch.
No freedom kicks.
My stretching is just shooting. Like I take a couple shots and I'm good to go.
What's happening?
Oh, freedom kicks. Oh,
Yeah.
that's like you bring it kind of up the hip.
Well, yeah.
No.
Stretch
All
the
that
hamstrings.
dynamic stretching, get out of here with that. No,
I
just
learned
give it a couple of Jane Fonda twirls and we're good. Like,
You do the old crack the back. You put your hand on the hip and
Yeah.
kind of like crack your back a little bit.
Did any of you guys see yesterday, just really quickly, you're talking about exercise, what really happened to Richard Simmons that was on TV last night?
No, what happened to Richard
What channel
Simmons?
is that?
It was on Fox. It was TMZ Presents. What really happened to Richard Simmons?
What happened to Richard Simmons?
I put my DVR on because I started watching.
Oh,
and then
tomorrow
we
you got to tell us. Tomorrow you got to tell us
I'll
what
see
happened.
if we get to the bottom of it because I feel like it ends with them saying like, I don't know.
What's the story? What is like when someone says what really happened? It makes it seem like, you guys thought that this story was what happened. No, something else happened.
Well, because a couple years ago, a story came out that he had like someone that was taking care of him who basically was holding him hostage and like out of the limelight, out of the public eye, like just this
like
person.
Like a Britney situation?
Kind of, yeah. Like that's what they made it sound like. So then this was supposed to be what really happened to him.
It's you know what? You remember during TNT during the playoffs where they had like those true stories or whatever? Where they would run all night. Yeah. I was in Hawaii for all of those. So at like 3 a.m. here and like 6 p.m. there, I would start watching. I was like, oh, these are great. But all of them end the same way. We're like, we don't really know what happened.
I watched the Girls Gone Wild one. That's the only one I watched.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Bet you did.
So the thing is, like, I would
they didn't really find out what happened.
I feel like we're not going to hear from Richard Simmons, and I don't know, but I feel like we're not going to hear from Richard Simmons, and we're not going to see footage of Richard Simmons like out and about. But like in the part that I was watching, they were just kind of like laying down like the history of Richard Simmons and how he made it. Dude, that guy was loaded. He made over $160 million just on a little card that people put in their wallet telling them what's good and bad to eat. And then he made another $200 million just on his sweating to the oldies. That guy was loaded.
By the way,
so much money. And they had, by the way, all the big guns in the interview. At first, I was watching and I'm like, this is just multiple TMZ employees that are sitting down in front of a camera kind of talking like really dramatically. And then boom, big gun. Denise Austin comes out and talks about how this is like this fitness guru. And then boom, Dr. Phil comes in to talk about
does he come in like in Manti Teo or you just see him sit down like, who is this mystery man? And, it's Dr. Phil.
Wait, is that what happened? I haven't seen the Manti Teo thing yet.
When he enters, like, you know, the documentary is going, and then all of a sudden, like, it just stops and gets silent. So you see this empty couch, and then you see like a crotch appear because the camera is only like up to here. And then he sits down, he leans back. When he leans back, we see that trademark bald head and mustache, Dr. Phil.
Yo, good news. So I was worried because I went to see what like other times it was on because I caught it at the beginning. I just went on TMZ to see what's going on. It says right now, TMZ investigates what really happened to Richard Simmons. Stream on Hulu. So we can all watch it on Hulu.
There it is.
And then we can all learn together what really happened to Richard Simmons.
We're going to do like a watch party?
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's do that.
Isn't that like a thing that you could do? Like that you could stream? I think that was like features that you could stream.
There's an option.
Oh yeah, like group together.
First ever episode of Cinephobe.
Yeah, it's like Apple Group Play or Share Play. I think is what it's called.
They all have one now.
Yeah.
Everyone like Netflix has one.
We can all watch it together.
What if I got to pause because I go to the bathroom?
No, you can't.
Nah, you got to sit there.
If it was on Amazon
what if
Prime,
it's my guy and I don't know what my guy's name is and I'm like, ooh.
Well, it's not on Amazon. You can't do it. Yeah, you have to look it up. Anyway, so what time are we doing this at?
I don't know.
What time's good for you, Zach?
That's on the West Coast.
I'll be back 6 p.m.
Are you still in the desert
Eastern
right now?
time. No, I'm at home.
Okay.
But I got my chiropractor today. I got to drive to.
Billy, thoughts on chiropractors?
I'm seeing a TikTok chiropractor.
Come again?
He's big on. He's like 5 million followers on TikTok.
Zach was following this guy like on Instagram and TikTok, and finally decided like I'm going to go to where the celebrities go.
See all the hype's about.
Yeah,
those all seem really perverted. Like those chiropractors seem really handsy.
No,
like there's a better way to stretch my glutes than what's going on right now. Like you do
there's
not
one that
need to
goes
be
to your house that
grabbing
I
people
definitely
here.
don't like. Definitely don't like. But this guy only, you got to come to his office. Also, he's changing his office hours where he's not working on Fridays now. I don't go on Fridays, but I just feel like that's a real look at me Louie situation.
He's
he's making a few $1,000s from TikTok and doesn't need to work on a Friday.
Oh, he's this
1,000
loaded.
Right.
Definitely not 1,000.
I've been to 2 doctors recently where like I don't even see the doctor anymore. Like they just have a PA looking at me, and in my head I'm like, so like, are we billing this the same way? Like, am I telling insurance like I went there? Like, because I never saw a doctor.
Medical practices, get over yourselves. I'm sick and tired.
This is nothing against PAs, but like
I'm just saying, I spent a 2-hour doctor visit, of which an hour and 58 minutes is spent seeing people who aren't a doctor, and the doctor comes in at the end and just looks at the notes that the PA or the nurse took, and then like, yeah, everything here looks good.
And he or she is always in a hurry. There's always like, all right, I got like 2 minutes here, and then I got to dip out. Like, what are you?
What's the rush?
What is he doing all day?
They got to shoot TikTok videos. Trust me. This guy's the real deal, though. Have you ever seen the strap that they'll put on like your neck? They'll put the strap under your neck, and they yank your body. They yank it.
Whoa!
And it
that
cracks.
Sounds terrifying.
It cracks your lower back.
Does this help
which you would not expect?
Like, does this visits to this chiropractor? Does this help
the broken
you?
neck.
Do you have a diagnosis? Because like, how often do you need to go to this doctor, and how like much relief is it giving you if you're having to go constantly?
Here's the thing: that's a great question, because they did X-rays. And he's like, "Wow, your back is a mess." I'm like, "I know, that's why I'm here." And then he was like, "You should come here a lot. Like, you need to like." He's like, even twice a week or whatever. So I bought like this package of like 10 visits or something like that.
A doctor package. Dude, I went one time to an ER. I swear to God. It was like the last time I went to the ER, and it was a hospital down here locally. And they go to me, your copay. No, not that one. I'm
still trying to figure out.
No, I may have. I'll tell you about that later. So I went to this hospital, and they go, your copay is X dollars, and they're like, but if you're gonna pay it now, it's Y dollars, and it was less. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, what's happening now? Like, it's less if I pay it like right now.
You're running a promotion?
Like what? Like it's like a Groupon hospital. What's going on right now? Dude, so your doctor sells you packages.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a chiropractor.
That's
like,
what chiropractor. That's the
yeah.
chiropractor hustle, right? It's like, oh wow, you should come 3 times a week, and that's what they do. That's why.
But it's also he's like 47 miles away, so like it's a trek to get to him.
You're driving 47 miles to
I do
get to a
feel relief,
chiropractor
like,
just because you found him on TikTok?
Do you have like a punch card or something? Like how do they know?
They keep track. I trust her. The receptionist is really nice lady. She's great. But I do like, so this used to be as far as I could turn my head this way, but now I can go all the way. So
I mean, you move like placebo. 4 extra inches.
Yeah, it's all placebo.
Yeah, but now I can check all blind spots. Couldn't do that before.
Use mirrors.
I mean, that's the blind spot.
I have spy glasses that someone gave me once that they look like sunglasses, but they have mirrors on this side, and you can just kind of look off to the side, and it's like a mirror to see like what's going on.
Why would you have those?
Someone gave them to me because they got it from the Spy Museum in Washington, D.C.
That's a good place, actually. I've been there.
I've never been.
I've been.
I think it's closed. Is it still open?
I don't know. I went in like 2017, but there's actually one where you have to hang on like a bar, and they see how long you can hang to emulate like James Bond hanging out of like a plane or something. I only lasted like 30 seconds.
Chiropractor videos scare the shit out of me.
Like, Spy Museum's still open.
When you see like the way that people's
TikTok of this doctor?
Necks get twisted.
OC chiropractor.
The sound that necks make.
The brook.
Right. It's
oh
like,
my
why?
God.
Well,
but it feels like.
Of all places, though, your neck.
Let me see if I got one in me. Hold on, everybody quiet.
Hold on.
Be really careful because you could snap your neck by accident.
I do this all the time.
Like,
I'm a veteran.
Yeah, I do it all the time too.
For the record,
That'd be big ratings.
I think this isn't a good idea.
Yeah,
I gotta say that right now.
I mean, it'd be big ratings.
So I say,
I got this.
Do this.
Everyone,
don't do this.
Everyone, lay out.
Don't do it.
Danny, shut up. All right, here we go.
Don't do it.
Oh wow.
Oh.
No, that was the headphones, man.
The second one. I mean, you heard the first one.
No, I heard the first one. The second one was the headset.
Yeah.
Damn it, the headset.
So here's the thing that he said. Here's the thing that he said that is right. Because I was like, I crack my neck all the time. He's like, yeah, those are the ones that you can get. I can get different ones. And he was right. He was right because he got my neck on the left side to move in a way where it felt like electricity shot down my body.
I don't think that's
incredible.
That's like nerve damage.
What's actually going on in my body when that cracks? Like, what's actually happening?
I think it's gas. I think it's gas in the joints, but I could be very wrong about that.
You think you're farting all up and down your spine, and that's what's getting out?
Farts come out of your butt. It's not farting.
So where the fart comes out of, that's where the gas comes out.
Air
of.
is what you're saying, right? I mean,
yeah.
So,
or maybe
as,
it's like
as the chiropractor, what are these cracks?
He doesn't know. He's a chiropractor.
You know what? I'm going to ask him today.
Well,
4 hours from now.
I have a question.
A tease.
So why don't you ask Dr. Alex? Be like, Dr. Alex, how do I get in your OC chiropractor TikTok videos? Like, how do I become a featured patient?
I could ask.
I feel like
so when I signed up, I clicked or I said no. I didn't want to do them.
Really? They asked you?
But I could change it.
So
it's on the form.
The video right here on this person's website is what I offer, and it looks like he's about to do some sort of chiropractic service to a baby.
Oh, don't go to the website.
Which is like,
go to the TikTok account.
Like, what? Don't hurt a baby. You know what I mean? Babies are very delicate.
Of all
he adjusts children.
You know, they're actually like really
resilient, man.
Oh my God, kids, are you kidding me? Sometimes my daughter falls. I'm like, oh, that's a broken neck. And she's just fine. She just like gets up. She just like pops right up. Good parenting. Of all the jobs in the medical field, there's very few that make you go, Most of them, if they're like, oh, I'm this, you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But if I meet somebody and they're like, oh, you're a doctor, what do you do? What field? He's like, chiropractor. I go,
But your dad's also badmouthed them for years, so you do have that bias built up over a lifetime.
It's one of those places that once you go, you got to keep going back. Like that's just
the previous chiropractor I had was a former stand-up comedian who was now doing chiropractor.
Red flag.
He was terrible. He was terrible. He
As
only
a
wanted to show
doctor
me
or
these
a
pictures of.
comedian?
Don't say that about Brad Williams.
I don't know. He had a diploma. Like I saw the diploma.
In comedy
but
or chiropractic? Chiropractic?
He only wanted chiropractic.
Third mistake.
He only wanted to show me pictures of him with Bruce Springsteen. He told me 2 different stories about times he almost played basketball with Adam Sandler.
I like this guy.
And then he made me watch his stand-up. He was like showing me his like bits on his phone. And I'm like, can I leave? Like, what are we doing here?
Allison, before we leave today, can we get this guy? Can we get Zach's former chiropractor?
You went in and the doctor's like, yeah. Hold on though. First, watch this video of me on YouTube.
Yeah. No, it was all saved in his phone. He didn't even show me YouTube clips. This was all the unposted stuff.
My dentist is like this because my dad's gone there since he was forever. He knows my dad was like a sports writer. So now anytime I go to the dentist, it is just 2 hours of, can you believe Tua? And what's your dad think about the Heat trading? And I'm just like, oh my God, kill me. I'm like, can you put more gas in me, please? Thank you.
Isn't it crazy how like we get into working in sports and then people want to start talking sports with us? I like would rather do literally anything else. I feel bad. Like
I'm
Tony,
off the clock, man.
But like Tony, when you and I like first started working at the radio station, we used to like you'd go in and be like, all right, this is my chance. I get to talk about sports now. And then like the jaded period lasts about like 2 years. And then everyone's
so
like
jaded.
Like we literally rather talk about
The
anything
worst
else.
part is when they ask you for fantasy advice, like you know something. Like it's like, who should I take in the second round this year? I'm like Travis Kelce. I don't know.
But Chris, we live inside of this.
Yeah.
Other people who don't would presume that we spend
All they wanna do is talk about sports.
that our entire day is built around finding an edge in fantasy football and
Every
knowing
year.
something that anybody else knows.
Every year I get propositioned by to help draft my fantasy team for me. I'm like, I don't you're better off using the auto draft than me. Because I'll draft all kickers.
I think I was guilty of this in Tahoe when I texted Amin asking for, remember like the random summer league game? I was like, who's going to win tonight? Lakers or this team? It's like, he's like, I don't freaking know, man. I was like, you're Amin Al-Hassan. You should know this. I wanted to bet. I bet the Lakers. I lost.
Gambling again.
It's crazy to have 2 different stories about almost playing basketball with Adam Sandler, though, right?
How
like
almost?
2 different stories.
But like, what were the stories? How almost was this? Like same place, missed by like an hour, or like
the first one was he was in Malibu with a girl he was dating, and he saw Adam Sandler playing basketball, and he was talking to him, and Adam Sandler allegedly offered like, hey, yeah, come play. And he was like, oh, I got to take this, I got to take this girl back to, East Hollywood or something. I don't know where it was. But so he couldn't play. And then the second time it sounded like he was just outside of Adam Sandler's home and saw him come out and was like, hey, you want to play some ball? And Adam Sandler was like, I've got my kids. Like I'm not going to play basketball right now.
Neither of those
So the
sounded
second
like
one's
they
kinda
were close at all.
Well, the first one did. Like Adam Sandler offered, hey, come play basketball.
You can believe it.
Now,
If you believe it,
if I were the guy, I would have told the ball and chain, hey, guess what?
Uber.
Duty calls, yeah. I'll get you a lift.
What did that person have to do that like they couldn't sit around and watch like Adam Sandler play basketball?
They
Like
had a
with
life.
the doctor.
He had a life, Billy.
I think I'd watch anyone play basketball with Adam Sandler, at least for like 10 minutes.
I just had a flashback to Adam McKay. Tell that lippy wife of yours to zip it.
As lippy as the day is long.
No, to zip it, and for once in her life, not to be such a bitch. I was like, what?
I can't believe he broke, man. That was
He broke on the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Like after all of the outlandish things he said, the thing that got him was It was something. It was like, we'll come by, we'll send the conversion van, and then he started laughing. He didn't
know,
even,
and you know why? It's because there was another layer to go, and I think it's like, well, all right, what absurd thing am I going to come up with now? And then he started laughing.
You will not decline.
Or Greg.
Transition. My homeboys in the hood, they see I work with Dan LeBatard. They be asking me all the sports advice, and I be whatever the fuck Dan said.
Reverberating?
Regurgitating?
You knew what he meant.
Play that for the Meech.
It is so funny though that like we get into sports and it's like now I don't want to have conversation with sports about people anymore.
You know, the only time I get excited to have a sports conversation is when I get a cameo request. Tell me something good about the Cincinnati Bearcats this year. I'm like, oh, they're going to kill them. Like, I get excited.
What a random request for you to get.
No, he's fishing. He's fishing for cameo
he's just
requests
trying to
because what happened was
2 days of cameo
He tried it yesterday.
Yesterday that happened, and then like later I was like, I texted Chris and Amin. I go, wow, like a couple cameos came in. And he goes, none for me. So now what he's doing is he's casting that out again to see if today we catch some fish.
I'm just saying, like, you know, you guys want some cameos. I deliver. I don't do the Greg Cody mail it in of 30 seconds and I'm out. I give you guys 2-3 minutes.
Why are you taking out Greg like that? Greg does his cameos so he damn well pleases.
Well, that's I'm doing the Pepsi challenge. Like mine are better.
You don't want a 4-minute video from Amin. Like
Yes, you do.
That's too much. It's too much.
It is too much.
No.
I did an
get in, get
8-minute
out.
draft order the other day.
Tony wants his mic on so he can plug his cameo.
No.
What I was gonna say is that I get so few, right? So I go over and above for my people, right? So there's people that request me. One time I took them through the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through. There was a guy's birthday. I got the guy from Dunkin' Donuts to say happy birthday to Jason or Ryan or whatever.
I
his
show
name
me
is.
and my wife.
What?
Hell yeah.
Hubba.
We're all pitching we're all selling ours. I'm just trying to sell mine.
So what you're saying is you let the boy watch.
I don't really do them. I actually forgot. I deleted the app, and then I've got a couple of requests apparently that I didn't come through on. But I will start doing them on my inversion table. I'll hang upside down and do cameos.
Zach has an inversion table.
I do.
Zach, why are you into such like weird stuff?
How is that weird? I'm just making sure my back's okay.
I know, but I don't know anybody that has an inversion table.
Hollywood.
No one.
Touche.
And I also do acupuncture.
Oh, that. You really buy into every single
You went to
fraud.
a heroin den. You didn't go to an acupuncturist. That's not what acupuncture
so weird,
is.
man. It was the weirdest thing because my back was messed up, and Zach was like, "Just do acupuncture. Trust me, it works." I'm like, "I don't know. I'm afraid of needles and stuff." Like, no, trust me, it'll be fine. And I went there, and it was just the most bizarre setting ever. It was like, you guys remember at the beginning of Inception, where you walk into the room and everyone's like in these chairs and they're asleep. That's what it was.
I've never seen that before.
But like with acupuncture, right? And so she starts sticking needles in my elbow, in my forehead, like on my calf. And I'm like, what does this have to do with my lower back?
You got to balance it out.
Yeah, how many millions? And so, and then I basically end up... Gabriel Cash. I walk away. Now I have like 1,000 little dots of blood on me. And I feel worse than when I got there. And I'm like, what am I doing here? And Zach's like, you have to do it several times for it to work. So I went back several times.
Does Zach try cupping too?
They do cupping every time. It's fantastic. Hell yeah.
You really do participate in every single health.
You have like great insurance or like a lot of disposable income.
I do have great. No, here's the thing. I do have great insurance. It's like a $20 copay and that's it.
Wow.
Not for the chiropractor. Chiropractor, I'm paying out of pocket.
That's that New York Times insurance.
Tech bubble.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day.
Stat of the day is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. the smartest way to hire. As I tell Michelle, Sasha, Malia all the time. We welcome in Mike Shore. Very funny guy. He's in charge of all of our stats here, the LeBatard Show. Mike, what you got for us?
Thank you, Mr. President. According to StatMuse, since 2018, the New York Jets have only been favored in 11 games. And the Detroit Lions have been favored in 12. I'm sorry that Stugotz isn't here to hear this.
Oh, man.
11 games.
What?
That's
out of 65, I guess, right?
To be fair, they do get to play the Dolphins twice a year.
I don't even know which direction that goes.
I don't know either.
I know.
Which direction does the shit flow? Is it this way or that way? Good Lord.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
Mike, are
they're
you
not a good team?
Are you watching Hard Knocks?
No, I don't watch Hard Knocks.
You don't watch Hard Knocks? Are you're not
General rule?
Yeah, is this
Yeah, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds with this, but I moved away from the NFL about 6 years ago. It's too potent a drug for me to quit entirely, so I still watch the game, sadly, but I try not to support any fringe aspect of the league, so I don't buy any merchandise or apparel from my kids or myself or anybody. I don't watch Hard Knocks. I try not to support any of the ancillary business ventures that the league is involved in.
the biggest revenue generator for them is the games, and you're down for that?
Yeah, I got rid of it's wild. I got rid of the Sunday ticket package. That was my big thing. I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then they were just like, you can have it for free. So I still have it because DirecTV, I think, doesn't want people to give up DirecTV. So they just gave it to me for free. And so it is like it's like a drug dealer going like, hey, have some for free to stick around. And it makes it too hard for me not to watch the games. So I shamefully, I went in 2018, 2019, somewhere in there, I actually stopped watching the games. I didn't watch it.
So did I.
Yeah. And then
3 years.
Then the pandemic was so disorienting that I found myself craving something to do on Sundays. And so I was like, well, I'm back in. They brought me back in.
Nestled in the bosom of big football. Like, come here, I can make you feel better. And you just let yourself go.
You've all talked about it on the show so many times. It's a very potent drug. It's impossible not to be entertained by it. And so as much as I hate it, I hate the owners, I hate the league, I hate the commissioner, I hate what it does to the players, I hate the way it treats its labor, I hate everything about it. And I still am watching it every Sunday.